Good evening, one and all. It is Thursday, and apparently today is the day they've decided for a Devstream, which means we are here once again, ready to see what the details are, as and when they do go live in like 15 minutes time. We'll have to see what they have been cooking for us. We're expecting things about Oberon, we're expecting things about a fungus, we're expecting things about damage attenuation. Well, let's see how that all comes together, won't we? And of course, still got Necros here from yesterday. Let's just get rid of region chat. Who cares about region chat? Necros are all the bits and pieces because all of my focus today has been on video crafting, and that is not a lot of time to focus on playing Warframe, is it? Oh, something just dropped into my eye. How dare. There we are. I still am not used to having glasses in the way of needing to occasionally just get some gunk or whatnot out of my eyes. Damn eyelashes. But hey, it's fine. Nicola saying also prime time's happening as well. Are they doing a prime time into a dev stream? I didn't think they were doing a prime time into a dev stream. And if they're doing a dev stream followed by prime time, well, they can. I'm not going to co-stream prime time. We'll have dev stream, and if they switch on to a prime time afterwards, I'm out. Quite frankly, they can do their own entertainment on that side of things. Prime time is nice and all, but we're co-streaming for the deets. What is prime time exactly? Prime time is usually 1 hour of the community team goofing around with some Warframe gameplay. Occasionally they'll invite in viewers to join them. And then the second hour is usually... what's it? Yeah, the second hour is usually a showcase of various community bits and pieces. They'll show off maybe a video or two that a creator's done. Only a snippet of it. They'll show off some artwork, they'll show off some dojos, they'll show off fashion frames. Basically, here is what the community has done. So it's kind of a quick sample of both gameplay and community involvement. It's pretty nifty. I've been showcased on prime time. I've lost count how many times at this point. Somewhere between half a dozen and a dozen. Somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, if you are a creator, not even have to be creator, just you make stuff in a Warframe theme as well, whether it be some captures, dojo designs, that kind of thing, make DE aware of it, and they may feature on their prime times. Hooray! Thank you very much for the 42 months of resub right there at tier 3, no less. Much appreciated on that one. There is no ticket today, however, because this is not a standard Warframe stream from myself, and so it's not one of the standard raffle days. Those ticket raffles, they happen on Wednesdays and Sundays. Pretty cool. Yeah. All the same. Cheers, Ray. What do I think the Oberon rework will be? Made by Pablo. That's what I think it'll be. Beyond that, we'll see, won't we? We will see indeed. Apparently drops are a Riven Cipher and a random Riven. Oh, fair do. But yeah, they're not here. Speaking of, you know what? When's the last time I went down to Iron Wake? That has been a a hot minute. That has indeed been a hot minute, and because it is on a weekly rotation, every single one of those weeks I've not been down there is just poof gone. The shop does not continuously stock up. There is no buffer zone. You either remember or you don't, and if you don't, you don't. There's the way. Let's just go quickly sort that, eh? Love my orbital colours? Thank you. Alright, let's see what we've got here then. We get a pistol ribbon mod, and we get a pistol ribbon mod. Okay then. Hello, Blitz. You know what? Whilst we're here for a moment, let's head on over to the mod section. Let's have a look at some of the ribbons that are ready to be cracked open, whilst we are waiting for DE to go live. So, if I have a look at these here. Yeah, so the Zords I don't care about, same with the kick guns. But the rest, could be some interest in here. Yet the killing blow on 2 sentients without taking damage is apparently still a challenge I have to crack through. You know, I've got so many Riven slots, I wonder who gave me those. So, I might as well just unveil all of these. figure out what all the challenges are, then optimize them. Seems like the smartest thing to do. Okay, yeah, let's just grab a weapon that hasn't already got stuff on it. That is probably going to be ideal for ribbon cracking anyway. So yeah, let's just slot over hammer shot with the ribbons I'm looking at. What have we got? Survival mission with a decaying dragon key equipped. Okay, and don't kill anyone. So that is an Avara run right there. How about you? Kill enemies undetected. Avara. And what about you? Synthesize a target. Ivara. Ivara's pretty damn good, in case anyone hadn't noticed. Kill 4 unalerted tusk ballistas with a headshot. I mean, that's just Arcwing sniper rifle. That's all that one is. 10 kills in a row while wall dashing without touching the floor. Fair enough. I mean, if it's wall latching, that's a Loki. Actually, no, that's an Araxia these days, isn't it? That is an Araxia. That is another scan one. 80. Kill 40 enemies while sliding without failing a mission. I like that they add in the without failing the mission. Like, just gotta be clear, you do need to do the mission for this one. Another survival one. Oh, that's gonna be fun, isn't it? Find a couple caches without raising alarms. Interesting. Complete an exterminate with a hobbled key and don't get detected. So that's another Avara one. Complete a defense mission without the objective taking any damage. That is a Banshee one. And where is the one as yet not cracked? Here it is. Destroy 6 Dargans in flight using a bow. Interesting. Quite a mix of different challenges here. Does Araxia count for wall latching ribbon? That's what I imagine, because Araxia is wall latching, right? So I would imagine that should work, but I also haven't opened up a ribbon with Araxia yet. Dark Wolf, cheers. We will have to see in that regard. Now, if anyone else is keeping an eye on the Warframe channel, I'm trying to keep the tabs on it myself as well, but as soon as the Warframe channel goes live, we will be switching straight over to that, which is currently not yet. So this is only until they start livening, and then we're just going to deal with that. Alright then, let's see, what have we got on the pistols? Only got 6 of these. Let's have a crack. We've got catch 1 fish, mine 1 gem or metal, and kill 1 enemy in 30 seconds. Interestingly, none of the primary ones had that, which is a little bit upsetting. Defense mission without objective taking damage, and no consumables. Slightly adds to the challenge on that one, but Banshee can still handle it. So setting a 6 times melee combo multiplier. Well, that is very easy, except for the fact that I didn't have it on the primary ones. I was looking for efficiency here, and instead I'm getting duplicates on the same slot. That's not how efficiency works. Catch 4 fish in a row without missing a throw. Absolutely painful one, and also not one that I had on a primary. Complete a survival mission level 30 or higher without killing enemies. Okay, so that one does stack with one of the primary ones. So I've got 2 stackers there. That's not great. That's not great. I'll be getting wall running soon. How's that going to work with Araxia? Probably won't. I've got an open slot here to slap the rimmers into. So for you, let's have a look here. 8 melees. What have we got? Complete a solo interception mission. Okay, that's another unique one. This is getting painful. Desired target, excellent. It looks like we've got at least 2 of those, and 2 slots that can work on. Killing blow and 2 sentients. I think I have a shotgun one for that, so that works out. Destroy some of rush turrets. Well, that can be done at the same time as others, but it's not matching. 3 headshot kills, a single aim glide. Again, not matching. Wait, have I accidentally been popping some Azor ones? Oh, shit. Did you miss a Devstream? Nope. Devstream happens in 7 minutes. This is pre-Devstream. 13 kills a row while wall dashing or wall latching. Again, yeah, the wall latching, that can work with what else we've had. That is fine. Yeah, I'm just going to destroy the Zor ones. I really don't care for them. Kill enemies with headshots without raising alarms. Good, that is a duplicate. we can absolutely use that. Find 2 caches without being affected by a magnetic status effect. Interesting, a different modifier, but still 2 caches. We can work with that. Killing blow on a couple sentients. Okay, now we've got an overstack of that. Not ideal. Kill 70 enemies while undetected. We can certainly get that done at the same time as another. And finally, kill 70 enemies on a dropship. Alright then, there is a veritable mix of challenges here. Not a lot of efficient stacking I can do, which is a bit unfortunate.
Heya, looking forward to anything in this Devstream?
Am I looking forward to anything in this dev stream? Yes, indeed. But first of all, thank you very much for subscribing there. Up onto 3 months of that tier 1 support. Jejeduken, much appreciated there. In terms of the thing I'm looking forward to, most crucially, I'm actually looking forward to the details around damage attenuation. Because I have no idea what kind of discussion they're going to bring to the table there on that. A Warframe being reworked is a Warframe being reworked. A new one being announced is a new one being announced. Yeah, we've seen that a million times over. We haven't had a actual honest discussion about damage attenuation. Oh, live. Alright, cool. That's the end of this. Let's just melt these ore ribbons because they shouldn't exist at this point. They're pointless to me. We are done with that. Let's mute this side of things. There we go. And let's switch us over to the stream. If I do that, it should reload it. And I have to interact with it and tell it, yes, please, please, give us the stuff. There we are. Alright then. We'll try and keep the audio on the quieter side until they come in, and then I'll jump it up as usual. What time is Devstream starting? I think you now know. Can you have the Warframe drops here? Unfortunately not, no. Any drops that come from Devstreams are usually on the stream only. So if you really, really need that Riven Cipher and really, really need that Riven mod, I cannot provide you that support. Now, imagine the amount of ribbons we can crack in this time. Yeah, let's maybe not. Let's maybe not do that. You could do a World Twitch. You can potentially get drops whilst also watching the stream if you open up their channel on another browser tab, another browser, on your phone instead, or something like that. But yeah, I can't guarantee that it'll always work because Twitch is interestingly coded. Energy, can I get your sweatshirt? I feel like you really typoed Ken and your phone guessed and went for energy. Is that what happened there, Deadpool? Just so I understand, is that what happened there? Also, is the music playing new? I don't recognize it. No, I don't recognize that. Where can you get this sweatshirt? So this is actually a zipper jacket. Just by the way, has pockets. And you can get this on my merch store, !merch. I believe some sizes are currently out of stock in some regions, so do look when you're ordering. Make sure you do get the right size. If the size that you want is not currently in stock, I'm told they should be in stock again in about a week or two. It's just a matter of supplier issues. We're not going to go into the hows and whys of the supplier issues, just, yeah. Turns out jackets are in demand. Snake Raider. Cheers for hydrate. But yeah, you can go over to the merch page there. You'll be able to see not just the jackets, you can also get shirts. You can get yourself mugs. Do absolutely recommend the mugs. Make sure you get them in the size that is appropriate for you. Some people love a tankard. Some people want just, you know, a standard mug. That is absolutely fine. And you can even get yourself some stickers and pins. Absolutely. Will it be delivered to India? So if you head on over to the merch store, it'll give you details as to if delivery is available to your region on a per product basis. The products are produced in various parts of the world. So for example, the mugs, I believe they are shipped from EU, US and other locations. So really it comes down to, well, what is it you're looking to purchase? When you have a look at the store, it should pick up your location, at least general location, and give you an idea then as to not only what can be delivered, but also what costs you'll be looking at for delivery. I've tried to keep the merch items to things which are both quality, but also fairly priced. So, you know, nothing that is obscenely expensive for what you're getting on that, but at the same time not go for the cheapy cheapies. Trying to keep the cotton count higher, polyester count lower on any clothing items. For the mugs, only good mugs. Only good ones. Yeah, see A-Gear, Ladybug, this is exactly why there are different sizes of mugs available. A-Gear looking at the big mug and going, that's standard. And meanwhile, Ladybug's very happy with the middle size for a, quote, big and perfect hot chocolate. Different sizes for different folks. You won the trans badge to a local TDOV event. I have no idea what TDOV stands for in this case, but I'm glad you enjoyed wearing the pin there. I wonder what comments, if any, you got on that. Trans Day of Visibility. Oh, I see, right. I feel like I've caught that initialism before now, but this time, straight over the top. Straight over the top on that one. Is it a balance for merch is difficult? It is difficult. There's a hell of a lot of products, hell of a lot of stores that offer ways to provide these on-demand printed products, and they are on-demand printed because at the end of the day, I'm a small creator in a game that, despite how many people play it, almost everyone you ask in Joe Public, you say to someone, oh, have you played Warframe? They go, well, what? No? Is that a mobile game? Yeah. Well, technically. There you are. Oh, I see, Ladybug. Nah, it's fine. All good on that. But yeah, when it comes to the merch, because there's so many stores, so many products that are made available, and so many promises which are not kept, it's taken a fair amount of digging to find a set of products that I am satisfied to have on the store there. Absolutely. Yeah. If there is something on the merch stall there, you can be fairly certain, things happen, but fairly certain that the quality is exactly the kind of quality I would expect in my house as well. I have had one product issue before now, where there was a misprint on a mouse pad, so I got in touch, was like, look, this is misprinted, the angle is off. It was only off by a few degrees, but it was noticeable it was off. And so they printed and shipped out a replacement. No hassle, no fuss, no having to sort out returning the other one or something stupid like that. Just, yeah, that's not what it should be like. Let's get that fixed. And so I stuck with them. Off by a few degrees is fairly sizable. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it was off by 10, 15 degrees. It was a... I think, oh, I'd have to bring up the email, but I think it was something like 4 or 5 degrees at most. It's probably 4 degrees, something like that. Which, again, it's noticeable. You look at it and you go, that shouldn't be there, but it's all good. Well, it wasn't good. That's why we got it replaced. But aside from the bit where it wasn't good, it was good. Enough that you notice it when you look at, like, the bottom of the design, where there's, you got the straight edge of the base of the word. Not enough that just at a glance you'd pick up there's something wrong. Like if you got your arm across the bottom of the mousepad, you wouldn't have noticed that there was an angle error on it. Only when you could visibly compare edge to edge, you go, hang about. And it's still functional as a mousepad. Still big old Kengineer logo, just wrong. Anyway. Yeah. Sometimes merch goes wrong, that's all. And then you tell them, nope, do better, and they send you better. Shells will say if it ain't Fortnite or Friendslop games, it won't be clickable. Friendslop? I got nothing on that one. What is this trend that I've just missed an entire word for? There you are, Ducktile. Got the orange lighting. In any case, also I remember actually, I usually move my camera for this bit because they put a lot of stuff where I like to put my webcams. Let me just go up over here for a moment. I should be out of the way of pretty much everything over here. And if I end up not out of the way, let me know. Friendslop is co-op games like Fall Guys and whatnot. Okay, so just everything where it's not so much the game as the individuals screaming and laughing their way through it. Is that what I'm picking up there? You know, whether it be Cleanup Simulator or Fall Guys, Lethal Company, Repo.
Hello, Xeno, and welcome.
Slightly too much.
My name's Megan Everett, and I
Oh, never
have
mind.
my SSAO and Sleep Token tattoos and Zelda Triforce, and I'll be
kinda
your
phoned
host today. It won't be
Well then.
Rebecca puppeteering me. It'll be me as the host.
Oh.
We have some guests today that are very special, and I would like them to introduce themselves and say their first album they bought or illegally downloaded based on what generation.
The names are out of order,
Eric,
yeah.
you go first.
Oh my gosh.
He's loud and quiet at the same time. God damn it.
My name's Eric. Do audio for Warframe. First album that I purchased, probably Nevermind.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Matthew Chalmers is joining us.
Hello.
Yes, our composer and singer extraordinaire from the amazing concert that we did for TennoCon. What's your first album? Do you remember?
I'm not sure if I remember, but I was a big Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson fan, so it's probably one of those. But also my
Maybe.
parents were our music teachers, so they
Oh.
probably helped
Inundated
out. There was
you.
a lot of
Yeah.
albums
On the note of
around
the,
all these, so
The Tenno concert,
I
that's
see.
also properly up on YouTube now. I think the link's on the
Megan
Discord.
Everett, and my first album was Michael Jackson Thriller.
Oh,
Yeah.
Seems a little old for you, Megan. How about you?
No, I'm into the classics. Yep.
All right. My name
Sure,
is
Megan.
Rebecca Ford. I'm the creative director of Warframe, and the first album I ever bought, like with my own money.
Well, I was kind of figuring you might be like a Napster.
I am a Napster.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
would that?
You
what-
just skipped it completely.
Yeah, what was the download
No,
then?
because my dad always would make mixtapes off the radio where you would put the cassette in and you'd hit record to capture what was
Oh, wow.
on the radio.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so-
But what
Old
about
school
you
mixtaping.
that you?
No, but we did that. We made albums.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. I guess my first ever, probably a Blink-182 album. It would have to have been.
I knew it.
That's
Good
good
choice.
Had to have been Blink-182.
Yeah.
That frustrating
And
moment you're
Jeff,
recording onto a
creative
cassette and then the
director of
DJ.
Soulframe, what's the first album?
Speaks
Well, we're
over
going
it.
to show our similar age range because it was also Thriller.
Thriller?
Wow.
It was also Thriller.
Really?
It was the LP though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was.
Dude, I'm like 10 years older than you, so don't even try. Don't even try. Maybe I was too old for that album. I don't know. Okay, we're doing a Twitch drop
Form
today.
piracy?
For
if it was
this
personal.
is the first time we've ever done Twitch drops, and we're doing them today. And there's going to be a random Riven and a Riven
You know,
cipher.
you've set him up to go rogue.
I know.
This is like
I
you
know.
have a lot
I
of
know.
Gift
power
of the
on this.
Lotus, also GTL. I know what that stands for. There's going to be an Oracle Catalyst and Oracle Reactor. Next page, turn page. When the chime. Did you ever have a record player and they would do a chime in the story?
To turn it
Oh,
When
on.
you
yeah.
hear the chime, turn the page. No? Yeah, lost out.
That, wow, okay. He's
We're
really
gonna do
showing
some
his age on that.
housekeeping First. I know everyone really loves housekeeping. And the housekeeping is the Tenno concert video reveal. Did that just go live today?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
And
Primetime drops are already
live
ticking up?
album
That is odd.
announcement. So we are bringing the Tenno concert album to streaming platforms.
yes,
When are we doing it?
it's live now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's even better.
Already
Now is
available.
better
Yep.
than the future.
And if
You
you,
can
do
already grab it.
exclamation mark concert.
If
then
you do exclamation mark concert, It will give you a link to
The YouTube
your
video.
The YouTube
The
video.
quality is incredible on
Yeah.
the YouTube video.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
really
Eric,
I was going to say
you-
now,
you did a little mix
throughout
up
the
on
stream,
that.
I can already tell
and remastered.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Amazing. I can hear all my
audio
mistakes.
balance is going to be impossible. I'm
Thank you
sorry.
for that.
Enhanced.
we strongly encourage you to watch the film because it's like refilmed, recaptured. It's a full
Yeah.
production.
Yeah,
Nice.
the director is a friend of mine, and we had done a movie, and I knew that he's very musical, and he would be the perfect choice for this.
so awesome.
And yeah, he knocked it out of the park. So shout out Evan Reese and Adam Crosby, who is the director of photography. Yeah, it's like a full movie. It's not just like a remix of the stream cameras. They had their own cameras.
Yeah.
I think they had $500,000 of equipment in a truck that weekend, and they
Oh,
had to
wow.
hire a security guard to protect that truck.
Yeah.
Just the truck. Yeah. But yeah, it looks amazing and sounds amazing thanks to Eric, and yeah.
Yeah. So
Enjoy it.
if you had
glad they put in the time to do
gripes
that.
with the stream
Yeah,
audio,
if you had gripes with the stream audio,
This is the one to
you want to listen to. And yeah, it's all new footage. It's amazing. I remember when I didn't have time to go to rehearsal, and then I came to rehearsal, and it's like they told me I couldn't use my guitar that I was kind of comfortable with, and I had to use a guitar with a capo.
Oh no.
And then we're rolling it in, and this guy, Matt, is kind of standing just kind of off to the side watching me, and then I kind of stumble through it. And you had this kind of look of like, okay. Yeah. Like, no, but like kind of relief. Like, I don't know if he knows how to play this at all. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, he knows how to play. Oof, what a relief.
We're good.
Because you guys have been rehearsing.
I
and
can get
taking
that
it
vibe.
pretty
But you're
seriously.
saying he was very stressed out.
He was very stressed out. It was quite the
Yeah, I was
expression
so
change.
worried.
He was pouring sweat.
Just
It
nails.
must have been
nails
very
were
stressful putting it
flying.
together. Yeah.
But an amazing
First ever
video.
tenor
You gotta
concert.
check it out. Even if you watched it on the stream live, check out it on YouTube because it is a totally lifted experience with
Yeah.
all the cameras
and everything is on
the
Spotify.
audio change and,
Yeah.
and watch it on Spotify.
Yeah, and we did a
your
screening
ears.
the other night in Toronto, and I had people who were at the concert and had seen the stream as well, and they're like, "Oh, that's like a totally new
Yeah.
experience."
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
Can I
Yeah,
tell you
check
a
it out.
story about the screening that
Yeah.
happened on?
Can
when was
I
it?
tell you
Tuesday
a
night?
story about the screening?
So last week I was grinding my last beating heartstrings for something for the Temple update for TechRot Encore, and I was playing randomly.
Oh, beating
And
heartstrings.
a guy was like, "Oh,
It's
I
a
live in
bit out now.
like I go to Western. Like, do you guys ever do events?" And I was like, "Oh no, but like hit us up and we can bring swag to school or whatever." And he's like, "Cool, thanks, we'll do. I'll like send you a note on Instagram as a reminder." And I was like, "Cool." So I posted a story of us there. He's like, "You're never gonna believe this, but I live across the street from that theater, and I'm the guy you match made with. Can I come watch the movie with you guys?" And I was like, "Sure,
Wow.
come on."
Damn,
So
okay.
someone I played with randomly
That's wild.
showed up to the screening.
Amazing.
And it
What
was
a
the same
treat.
person.
Wow, small world.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was
that's
like,
awesome.
if this
Small
is true,
world, yeah.
come on in.
Something very similar happened to me, but better.
Oh wow.
That
Okay.
was really cool. That was awesome. Okay. Okay. Thank you for those anecdotes and very interesting human interest stories.
Yeah, I like that Reb had like she can't. She's so nervous that she's also
Sure.
holding her like. she's I know she's like making sure.
Sorry, I'm bringing some chaos here. I hope everyone at home is doing well. I see you all in chat. I saw chat excited to see about the fun guy this stream as well, and making some guesses about what they're going to see, and also enjoying
Yep.
the new music.
We are expecting a
What can you
a
tell us
hoppy
about
little
this new music that you
mushroomy
saw?
boy.
I'm going off the script.
Can you finish housekeeping, please?
Okay. So we're back for the month of October with our Quest to Conquer Cancer campaign. QTCC begins October 1st. Am I doing okay?
That's correct.
That is just a few days
So,
away.
we have an
QDCC,
amazing
absolutely.
asset. Check it out.
This channel will be taking
Now,
part
this
in
one's
that.
pretty
More
special
details will be
because
coming
Gary
up
Black has
at
been
the
wanting to
start of the
do this
next
Zephyr
week.
skin
That is a
for
blast from the
10
past. Yep.
years.
Yep.
And not only did Carrie get a chance to actually do it, but we're giving it away for free for Quest to Conquer Cancer. So Zephyr enjoyers.
That's cool.
anything you wanna add
Nice.
to that?
What year was that?
like
started that?
2016.
Was it 2016?
I like this kind of like skeletal wing thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of
They
like
do articulate, and they're
do
really,
they?
yeah, they're
Oh.
really.
It's
really good.
QTCC the whole month? Yes.
And yeah,
It
so
runs from
Zephyr
October
skin
1st to
for all.
October 31st.
Yeah. So does Megan just usually read this stuff? Like we
What frame
look
is that?
forward
That is
to
Zephyr.
working together as a community.
That's a skin for
to
Zephyr right
raise
there.
No, you don't say that?
No, but there's something else that you should care about from
Okay.
that section.
Oh wow. Oh my god. Oh look at this.
What could that be?
Wow.
Stop mumbling.
Wow.
Sorry.
Can Warframes get pregnant? right?
Well.
Right?
You tell us, what do we have here, Steve?
Well, this looks like an amazing.
Technically, so far, no
Calgary
Warframe has ever gone
VIP.
pregnant.
Nope. Okay.
No. Every year we
If we wanna
try
be
and
strict
launch
about
a
it,
new merch pack for all
never
for
happened.
the charity support, and this year
Yes.
it's the Protector Stalker pack. You
Yep.
get a crew neck, there's a puzzle, you can have some fun. Join us for the kickoff stream next week.
Amazing.
Okay,
And this one's mine, right?
All right.
Yes, you can have it.
Thank you.
And what were we
What's up with
saying
Jade?
about Tenno
What's up
VIP?
with Jade?
Tenno VIP?
Yeah, you said something about Calgary just now.
I did, but like, isn't Tokyo?
Wasn't she pregnant? So there was a
There
person
be an
who
asset.
got
There might
pregnant,
be an asset.
Oh. I'm
and
going
then
for-
Ballas
Yeah.
happened,
Oh yeah. Look at this.
and then you
Number
had
26. Wow, that
a
sounds really,
Warframe
really
That
that
sounds
was
very soon.
pregnant.
It's
Very soon.
today is tomorrow.
Today
That
is
Warframe did
tomorrow.
not
That's why
become
Megan's not
pregnant.
in the chair right now. You're stuck with me. So yeah, and
It's a
then
distinction.
we are coming to Calgary, November 7th,
Yep.
and yeah.
Tenno
I
VIP
assume
continues to
that
make its way around the
registration
world.
is for that.
It opens on
Its
October.
registration date opens October 9th. I'm glad you asked that, Rebecca.
And how do I learn more about the Eventbrite?
You didn't know about the bot?
Do exclamation
All right, fair enough.
in chat.
Sorry for the spoilers. You
Well,
probably want to head over to
Any of our Tenno
Teshin's
in
part of a
chat
relay and go behind
area?
Teshin. There's some bits to interact with in
Maybe.
I used
every
to
relay.
live in,
Check it out.
Cold Lake, Alberta. So I know Alberta.
There's always a solid.
Definitely
Alberta
check it out.
contingent
I
at
know,
Tenno
I know
Con.
Alberta.
Yeah.
I've been to the West Edmonton Mall a million years ago when they used to have like a roller coaster inside
All right.
the mall.
That's a
It was
great
very
anecdote. Why don't we
very
continue?
scary. Human interest story.
Human interest story.
Number 1, number 12. Okay, moving on. This one's sad.
This one is
Very much so,
sad.
Carnage.
Oh my
That's
God.
where we're at.
I don't even know if I can read this.
I know.
Yeah. So Ortis is retiring. Our voice actor and long-term. He was the longest-term DE employee.
He was.
He was employee number 5.
He was employee number 5. Wow. Yeah.
Mambo number 5. Wow.
And
He retired.
Mike Leatham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's retiring, and I think he's building rockets or something, right? Space rockets.
I don't know what he's
He's
doing.
heavy into
Yeah.
aerospace, as far as
Sure.
as I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the saddest news. He's finally ready to hand off the torch.
Yep.
But we do have, we've been working very hard to make sure that anyone that fills the shoes of Ortis in a Cephalon is someone that's familiar with the community.
Yes, and knows the game.
And knows the game.
Has joined us at many TennoCons, if I recall.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Sounds
to
like
be
they already
clear,
have-
like Ortis, he's been with the team for so long. He just is enjoying retirement.
He's so earned this.
He's so earned retirement.
He's been through the trenches of everything he's been through.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
he's-
So-
I mean, you
it's-
had to read my early
Yeah.
test writing, so he's earned his sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I become a VA?
Yeah.
Do you have
so,
yet to reach out to
are
me
we
for such a thing?
announcing Who's taking over?
Why don't we take a listen first?
Oh.
Tenno, Ortis may sound a little, refreshed. Even Cephalons can retire.
That voice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So Kevin
obviously
Lynn
different,
will
but
be taking into
still
the role
captures
of
the
Ortis.
character.
Kevin and
Oh,
the
that's
team,
cool.
yeah. And
That's
he's-
very cool.
So Kevin
Yeah.
has done a ton for Warframe. He's Bombastine. He's in 1999, and we will continue working on all things Ortis for the future. So
Yes, and
That's
I think
great.
he channels well an aspect of Reborn Ortis. He's very
Yes.
gentle
Totally.
soul.
Reborn
very,
Ortis.
Yeah, Reborn Ortis.
Yes.
Ortis, yep.
reboard us.
Well, there's probably a little, still
Maybe
a little tilt in there, a little psycho now and then.
You
right?
gotta
This
have a psycho.
psychotic Ortis.
yeah,
Yes,
we will
yes.
not be replacing any old Ortis. This is purely for future Ortis content.
Yes.
Yes.
Makes sense, yeah.
All current orders will remain.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Orders is
There you go.
updated to Windows 11 just on time.
Okay, well, thanks to Mike Leatham.
Yeah, big
for
thanks to
all-
Mike
for all
Leatham.
the
Thank
work
you,
that he
Mike.
did.
Yeah.
I remember very
Gave
often.
me training. He gave me training when I
He
started.
trained you?
He trained you?
He did. He gave me.
blimey.
Tremblay gave me training.
I remember when I was being interviewed for the
Yeah.
job, and he drew on. You go to those restaurants where they give you like a big placemat that you just
Your Orders
color with
updating to
crayons, and he
Linux?
did the Unreal logo.
Oh my
Cephalon
god.
sign.
And it was giant, and of course he had drawn the
Yeah.
original, if I recall correctly, and I was so impressed. I think I fact-checked that one time, and I was wrong, but anyway, screw it. I'm going to keep.
Still a good story though. It's a good story.
So Knights of Nabarus. On to Knights of Nabarus.
Coming back, we
I'll
got
talk
a cool
about Ortis
asset.
more, but
Knights
let's
of
get-
Nabarus,
let's
of
get-
course.
Keep moving on, Rebecca. I don't want to get slowed down.
Yeah, it already has
in
been
your- in
18
your
minutes, and we
anecdotes.
still have about.
Knights of Nabarus returns. Spooky month is approaching, and so is Knights of Nabarus. So visit Daughter starting October 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she will have spooky celebratory wares.
Like, I'm not
there's a
one who keeps
mask
up with fashion
as well.
items, so I
Are
have
you
no
gonna
idea
ask
if
for
those
that?
are new
great.
That's the
plates or
Dullahan
not.
mask. That's the one you already know. It's the.
Oh, yeah. The Dullahan
the
mask
pumpkin.
will just be for one credit in the market. I don't know who approves these prices. That sounds a little low to me.
Nope.
But
Little
there you go.
glitch
That's
on the stream there.
single credit. And save the rest for your pedestals.
I should be ASMR's
okay,
assistant.
and then moving
Who
right
knows?
along into
Depends what
Nora's
do you
mix.
need. If
Yes, we
they
are
reach
in
out.
October.
Dreams of the Dead.
Date to
Asset 08A. Oh, hell yeah.
I don't think they can see the. Yeah.
Oh,
Are we
there it
showing
is.
this?
Yeah, so
There
this
it
will
is.
be part of the Day of the
That's
Dead.
a
This
very
is
loud
the
sign, Dana.
Monarchiero Day of the Dead sign Dana. This is part of the Day of the Dead,
Monarchiero.
aka
Okay.
Dreams of the Dead Nightwave series. So this is coming in October. You'll get a warning when it will be. But we have Nora with Day of the Dead.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yep. So really cute, really cool stuff. So please look forward to that in October. But Steve, back to you.
If Megan's watching this,
We usually
that's
get
how you
2
use-
weeks warning when Nightwave's going to switch over.
We don't have a
No
problem
rush
with
yet.
these colors. It's use of
I mean, get
okay.
it done. You only get 2
So
weeks.
show in game, Nora's Mix Volume 10, and we did show in game, so that's excellent.
He's reading
and
out.
now we're on
Okay.
to Nabrous Barrow. So Rebecca's in the dev build now, jumping over, looking for scary.
Yeah, you're
Barrow?
good to come over, Charlie.
Yeah? We're
And-
going to go to the Strata Relay, folks.
But people that are familiar with Barrow might notice that something's a little amiss.
Oh?
When Barrow appears throughout the month of October, things
Oh?
might be a little different. A little nabberousy.
Has Barrow
could it be?
finally got some new drip?
Uh-oh. I see Cherry Coon in chat saying all caps, evil Barrow. Evil Barrow.
Nabrous doesn't have to be
Guys,
evil.
let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here.
Day of the Dead, not Day of the Demons.
Something
Could just
something
be.
dangerous.
I see chat saying
Yeah.
Evil Barrow,
Oh, I don't know, guys.
Dark Barrow.
But maybe this October.
Almost a Diddy Barrow. I don't know what that means.
What is that helmet? Who's that for?
Oh.
Have you ever made
Count Barrow.
Whoa.
Have you ever made childish bargains with yourself?
Oh, I thought you were going to put a goatee on him.
Ah, okay.
Oh my God, Scarrow Key Fear.
Oh, Scarrow.
That's very good.
Chat wins
So
again.
there's going to be a series of
feel like you've been
suspicious
watched?
wares
Prickling
from
really
sensation
cool.
on the
a
back of your neck?
different
A
looking
sinking
barrow.
feeling in your
Perhaps
stomach?
the month of October will bring you some scary
Was that
things,
a
folks.
Mostly
Well,
stug
There you go. Steve, what else do we
Barrow?
have?
Right, so this is running October 17th to
A,
November 9th.
a lot of stug.
And the new wares are going to be the Katir.
Not a fan.
You don't need to worry about
Escatos-
those. Don't worry about those.
I've been practicing how to say this
Oh, I
like for
see.
like 3 hours.
No, it's definitely them
Okay,
just hiding what
so
the actual
moving on
wares are
from
going to be.
Nabrous Barrow.
Yes.
How's everyone doing in chat with the Ortis news? How we doing?
They paid their respects.
They did. They
Yeah.
had
They
a
did.
lot of salutes.
Yeah.
Some sadness.
Yep.
Yep.
We definitely could have pressured Mike into doing
No,
more.
we couldn't have.
No.
He was done, and
He was
that's
done.
fine
Yep.
for him to be done.
Hey,
Paid
we
their
could've given him
respects is
guilt
perhaps
trip.
No.
maybe not
Did we not
the
try
right.
and guilt
No,
trip?
he
Turn
in
of
the most
phrase.
passive-aggressive way,
Dude's
which he was good
retiring.
at, he shut us down.
Just retiring.
So we did not try to guilt trip.
We did not.
Anyway, yeah. But on brighter news, Android Open Beta TBD, switching up to close cam. One person can hold phone
We don't have
into
an
it
Android.
to show phone. we sent our phones to Tokyo.
Megan brought it with her.
I forgot.
Oh dear.
Show build on Android phone.
Actually, no, but you can play it at Tokyo Game Show.
That's right. You can play it at the Tokyo Game Show.
No, not the Tokyo Game Show, our 10 VIP. We're not on the show floor.
VIP.
Oh.
This is why I'm running this. Okay, so
Wow.
we are doing the internal friends and family beta soon. More QA
The
testing to follow.
VA for Ordis is
We're
retired,
still
King
kind of a
Jean.
little bit sheepish about giving a date to it, but progress has been going most excellently. So you
Android
can
soon,
do
TM.
exclamation Android to opt in for the closed beta, and I hope you do, because the more people that try it out, the better the results will be when we actually launch it for real.
I'll be
It'll
quite
closed
honest.
beta for about 12 years, though.
Knowing my luck with phones, I would end up cooking the battery on mine, so I'll stick to PC.
Moving on to, speaking of platforms, we finally got switched to dev kits. Yeah, and we've been using them. And I think, and as Eric will attest, the audio didn't work until just this morning.
Yes, that's right.
Oh dear.
This video
Whenever a
is
new
very,
console comes out, we're always.
yeah, every time a new console comes out, the poor audio guys have to go, can we test it yet? And the team has captured us a little video running off the Switch 2 native build.
Yes, this is
And
the
do
native
not
Switch 2.
This is just
Envy the work that must go
So
into
if you play
making
Warframe on
Switch
Switch
work.
1, you'll know that loading times, streaming tunnels, and everything can be a little bit of a bear.
Yep.
And here you see, this is real dev build
This
capture.
is real dev build just captured minutes ago. The shadow quality's cranked up, the shading quality's higher, the frame weight.
Frame weight.
The frame
Frame
weight
weight.
is higher. We
You
are
have to wait longer for frames. Is that what it is?
quite the opposite, I hope. Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, I mean that's Warframe. Yeah, that does just
team is
look
really
like Warframe.
excited, really digging in to squeeze all the performance out. I think the load times are about 1/3 Switch 1, and I know
That
Rich
is a
probably gonna
significant improvement. Yeah.
cringe and say it's 1/10 or something, but really impressive piece of hardware.
Yeah, so
To make
it
loading
will be
3 times faster
looking
is what they're
and
saying there.
playing
That is
incredible.
good.
Yeah,
it's
Warframe will just.
Yep.
Yeah, you're in for a treat. Switch.
docked 60 with like console parodies, really great, and it'll probably have audio as well.
What the heck? That's
Maybe even
Probably.
stereo. Maybe even both ears. So that's going to be amazing. I think we're gonna
Audio
try
is good,
The
yep.
fancier reverb.
We do like to have
Yes.
audio.
Are we?
Yep, better reverb
And
and
visuals.
higher audio settings if we can.
Oh, the higher sample rate.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. It's almost like 8-bit right now, isn't it? For
It's the
compression
Switch
space?
is quite low. Yeah.
It's quite aggressive. Okay, so that's a wonderful video. Thank you to the Switch team. I know Dimitri was capturing that about 20 times as they
Salute
kept
to
fixing.
Dimitri.
Yeah, that was very excellent, and to the engineers who worked hard.
How else would you hear
to
rap
show
tap
that
tap? There's ways to
'cause we're
encounter
on
it.
on Thursday,
Yeah.
and they thought they had Friday maybe. So now it's time to actually get into. We're done housekeeping, and we're going to start talking about the Valis Undermine.
You just spoiled the name. We're supposed to be talking about the unannounced 2025 update.
We're going to talk about the unannounced fall 2025 update.
Valis Undermined.
Revealed the name
Okay,
today at the
that's
end
a
of the
scoop.
stream.
You gave him this power, so
I have no
yes.
issue with what's on here.
That Valis Undermine is launching. Oh, I'm supposed
Yeah.
to say that after the assets.
Why don't we roll a preview video?
I want to just show the audience at home how
No,
the
don't.
assets
Preview
look.
video.
Oh goodness heavens. Oh, there's many little bouncy things. Okay. Sorry for the unexpected audio jump.
Holy man, that
So
looks
good.
good.
Yep.
So good.
Wow, that looked good. Wow.
All right, let's take a look at the key art. And Steve, you can tell us all about the updates.
Are we getting
but
stream
we
frame?
can-
Oh, of
We'll
course
see
not.
what
No,
happens.
definitely not.
Check it
That
out.
is not a frame
Oh my god.
of shroomy nature.
So cool.
Definitely not.
What are these little guys he's got with him?
Let's
Just you wait.
yeah.
What is going on with these little guys?
Just you wait.
So, the Valis Undermined is an update that is coming October 15th to all platforms, and it's going to feature our Warframe number 62 Noko. This is the key art done by our incredible team, and we also have his little Prex card if you want to see that too, because it'll be hidden somewhere in the update for you to find. I do
Yes,
wish
let's have a look.
You the best for it's a very high res asset, so it takes a while. But look
That
at
was
that.
funny. That was like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely a shroomy
Is
frame.
this, did Eric do this one?
Eric did this one.
Yeah, Nokko it looks like, Noko.
You know, because he draws them for
He's-
so long.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But if you come to my gameplay, Charlie, we can take a look at
Gorgeous.
Noko.
See, I was
So
thinking
Noko is
the helmet
um,
slightly reminded me of Onko.
So this is actually hilarious. 'Cause,
Okay,
oh
yeah.
God. So
Oh,
shall
oh no.
we play a game of telephone?
Sure.
So
Oh, what-
for vibes.
What the hell just
Did you just
happened?
spot your rally there?
Yeah.
What is your rally there?
Okay.
Well, I saw
What?
this animation this week,
Yeah.
and I was like, guys, why is Urelli dancing with Noko? And the animators very confidently said, because Urelli is,
Because Noko is
Noko's
Urelli's
Urelli's brother,
little brother.
little brother. And they were so confident. I was like, oh, I guess that was the direction. Okay.
Oh, this is some lore drops
And
right
it
now.
is
Oh.
true that on paper it was the vibes should be Urelli's little brother. That was the vibes.
was the vibes.
That was
Vibes.
the vibes. But
Okay.
it's turned into like a game of telephone where now we're just gonna make. Well, we're
And
not
now
gonna
we're-
make anything canon, but
But are we keeping the animation?
Of course.
Are we going to keep
It's so
like
cute.
Urelli shows up? and
so
dances?
like to be clear, the taste sheet and the vibes was like he should feel like Urelli's little brother, playful, same origins with Fortuna. So the animators went all
The
out
animators made it
and
lore.
gave them the first ever duo idol. So it's very cute. And this is Noko. He is the
I
Warframe
wonder if
coming,
it'll
and we
pick
will,
up your
see what's
Urali
called helmet
fashion.
here.
I love it. It's like
His
Canadian
little-
winter.
His little
out. It's like-
Canadian hat.
Wow.
And what I can only describe as the best ephemera in the history of Warframe, because
What?
Oh,
it
that's a
is-
big shout. All
I don't know
right.
if I bought it yet.
There you
Did I miss it? What? No, it's down here. There it is.
go. Oh,
They
my
follow you
word.
around.
Okay.
They follow you around. There they are. So,
Little
The
cheek-
sprottling
Oh,
ephemera.
Little, like
so they follow you around.
They hop around with you. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Follow you around? Oh my god.
Okay, that is
you
adorable.
should, yeah, the other animations with these guys are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually,
that's-
we have an animation reel to show,
Oh, do
Charlie,
you?
if you don't mind.
Oh.
So this is
Okay.
this is where things got a little crazy.
Why are
where,
you, some of
all
you
the
focusing on
idols,
the
of course,
asses?
are very
The mushrooms,
they're very
okay.
personality driven.
They
so
just
here
have
we
their
go.
morphology.
Look at him.
So these are his idol variants.
Look at him.
Aww.
Yep. Yep. He can hit the moves.
Okay, listen. I love
It's
the
so
little
good.
pistol.
I know
So
the-
definitely a very playful
Urel's
frame.
little brother.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
okay, I see it.
Odd.
Gotta have a bit of K driving. All right.
This one is outrageous.
Has it really been
This is
4
setting a high
years
bar.
since
These
I
are all
prepared
sung
for the
too.
new
That
war?
It
So
is
like,
Amused.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
he's hit
Real
that
Ed, thank you very
young
much for the
sister.
4-year release of there. Much appreciated. Cheers, Real Ed.
And then here comes the Urelis, which turned into an outrageously the book.
Oh, we got a Grimoire one.
What's he reading,
Oh,
chat?
that's funny.
What's he reading?
Looking at the pictures.
Something very
You do
excitable.
Cowboy
Okay.
Bob's.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man.
So we've never done this yet.
No,
have
we've
we?
never
No.
we've never done.
Wow.
So this is a first.
Oh, whoa. What is this? Little
Yep.
Square dance and stuff?
Yeah.
It's actually
Dope.
kind of
Yeah.
a surprise this is the
So these
first,
are the
considering
first
the
idols in
genuine lore
Warframe
behind
that pull
Grendel
in
and Gauss.
a canonically adjacent linked Warframe to do something.
sounds like the writers have some writing to do.
I know. My
Yeah,
goodness.
this will be news, but I think it's cute, and I think for me it really shows because I know for like the Mirage Onero skin, we did custom idols, the Korra Ushuru, so it kind of means to me like if we
What's
do
the lore behind
lots of
Grendel and
in the
Gauss?
future, we
They're
can do
friends,
duo
best friends.
Idols with them.
Yeah, that's
like
all.
there's a huge
That's a
door.
great idea.
Yeah, so
Genuinely
we have
best
some,
friends.
That's
like-
really cool.
Like people
Yeah.
love Gauss and Grendel, so I really think we could do something there.
I
in
think
the-
you just made it canon.
if we ever do something with them. So yeah, like Gauss and Grendel idols, I think would be awesome. So this is new tech.
That's
We're
exactly what I
working on
said.
for this, so yeah,
I don't know. Are we going too far with the cake?
let's talk about that with some gameplay.
Like,
so,
are we the
So what
are
we're
we
gonna,
the pushers, or is it like expected of us now
no,
that
no,
we're
no,
like?
no.
You are definitely the
Yes,
pushers.
too far. Yes, maybe. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna show
Never.
you how
No,
you
seen lots
access
of no.
They are
this
definitely-
content. So
Definitely doing it on purpose at
in
this
order
point.
to play the Valis Undermined, you need to have done the new war because as the orb Valis thawed
missed
and
that.
things
Sorry,
got
Petra.
a little, I guess, dead. Perhaps some fungus emerged, some decay. So if you have finished the new war, you will be led by a little mushroom guy who's running away somewhere into a new exposed sort of decay infestation.
Okay,
Under here is
post-new
the
war.
airlock, and this is a place where there's a Solarian that has been sort of lost to time.
See Nico out there?
This is
Oh, wow.
Nightcap. He's a brand new character.
He looks
Guys,
rad. I
we
haven't
all
seen
made
him.
Yeah, Nightcap is a brand new character coming in the Fortuna hub, and my cat, or my dog, I guess, is kind of vibing with him.
Doesn't respect boundaries.
And there is a whole bunch that you can do with him. He will let you buy all of the Noko wares.
It's a very
he will
big
let you
neck
buy
plate.
for the first time. This is for all the decorators. We have added more flora in this update than
Oh
we have
my
in any
word.
update in the history of Warframe. So if you've ever wanted potted plants, if you've ever
Whoa.
wanted anything like that, we are adding. We are officially adding plant decorations for the first time, I think, in Warframe history.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is a
Think of a game
lot
that
of plant decorations to add in.
So
There's a lot of green thumbs in
It's
the
like there are a
chat
few
right
bits you
now.
could get here or
People
there,
are
that-
Very excited. about this.
yeah.
Huge find.
That is a full
The Yanks.
And
garden's
there's
worth.
something kind of quirky and weird with what we're doing for this gameplay loop, where out in the deep Valis Undermines, there are a huge variety of mushrooms or fungi that you will need to find.
Yep.
And you can find them, learn about their results. Some of them make you do things like crazy. They're basically all based on like fun little impacts that are very hallucinatory and or trippy, which we'll show you a little bit about. And for you to get lore and for you to progress in the store, you'll be needing to find enough of this decay to feed the prince. And the prince is a mushroom species that Nightcap has been tending to try and sort of like bring peace to what's going on here. And if you feed it, you will be able to go on little adventures. And one of those, I'm just gonna do something now, Charlie, if you don't mind going away.
Sorry,
just for a
whoa,
second.
slow down.
One of those adventures, actually I should say all of these adventures, will take you into a world where you will learn the backstory of Noko, you will learn why Nightcap is down here. Come on in, Charlie.
We're picking mushrooms or finding mushrooms, scanning mushrooms, having little hallucinogenic moments, and going on genuine trips with the mushrooms. Oh my
so
word.
good.
What's happening? What have you guys
What?
done? Is this where the new music is in these parts, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I was wondering where the music
What is Warframe?
so cool.
So you'll be having to kind of navigate the memories of Nightcap. You'll get some story drops as you go through this. So be careful what you eat out there is all I have to say, Tenno. Be careful what you eat, be careful where you walk, careful where you fall, and you will be able to unlock the story and details of Nightcap and Noko by participating in these little adventures.
You know,
The skipping
it makes sense
There
to
we
have
go.
a whole
All right,
mushroomy
you need to go away
theme
for just a
alongside a rework of Oberon.
Okay. I feel like I need to make some kind of legal statement right now.
We do not
'Cause
condone or endorse
Stepping into a ring of
Eating
mushrooms and
random
having a
mushrooms.
crazy old
There
time.
was stores getting raided we were just talking about.
might be.
This is- yeah.
All right, so let's go back to gameplay if you don't mind.
Enjoy the
Yeah.
psychedelic effects without any health risks by playing it in a video game.
Now, since the dawn of
Warframe's
time,
mature rated.
the
18
elevator in
plus.
Fortuna has only gone up.
You're gonna blow my mind right now.
Now, what
don't
if-
go. No, don't do it. No,
What if?
no.
Bounties.
There's no way. It only goes up.
Okay.
What if it went down? Okay, ignore the robo voice and stuff.
Oh,
This is
okay.
very in development. Could it be that there is an entire underground deep mine?
I see.
Went down.
We went down. So there is a huge expansion underneath Fortuna, underneath the Orvalis, that will be letting you play and connect to things you never would have imagined connecting before. If you've been to the Corpus Labs where the Vermink are, if you've been anywhere, you'll be doing like the old reversal where the entire underground is
I love
available
how
for you.
brightly lit it
And this
is.
comes out later next year.
No, it comes out October 15th.
It's not all shadowy despite being a cave.
Yes, yeah.
That soon?
So
Amazing.
you will find a whole area to explore, mushroom patches to find,
Amazing.
loot to grab.
Yep.
As you can see, this is a critter liberation, so we will be freeing the Vermink from the labs. What we've done here is we've done it in a way that is a brand new tile set based off of the Fortuna vibes that connects to the very Corpus Labs you'll know from the open world. But it's not actually an open world, like it doesn't connect in a way that lets you go free roam, so you are sort of capped by only doing the mines. So this is our way of giving you something big this year, soon, without making a whole other open world, but it's like
It's a mission
big,
with an open
so,
world tile set.
Do not try to say critter liberation fast.
I already made that mistake, I'm
Don't-
sure.
don't say it fast.
Critter liberation.
Yeah, that is. Whew, that's risky.
Yeah.
That one.
So let's take a look at Noko.
Well, this is amazing. This looks great.
looks
are we gonna look at some of the
Yeah, we can
some
go
of
on
the kit here?
Yeah, we're
It's a
going to go
very
on a little adventure. I'm actually
lively
going to start with
area.
Noko's third ability, because I think
These will
people
connect
will be
indoor
needing
sections
this.
into regular
Actually, no,
battles.
we'll just-
No,
we'll start
it
with this
sounds like
first.
you access it from
This is Stink Brain.
the main lift.
Great.
So what
So
you'll
it's-
find with
it's a
Noko
mission that
is
starts when
he's,
you open
he's a
one
very
door,
fun
but it's in
guy,
the open
and he's
world.
throwing all his different mushroom types. This is Bright Bonnet, so these are two different mushroom types, and the general theme and idea is that you want to get these mushrooms out, get them pulsing, so that you're sort of making a garden of fungi around the battlefield. They each have different effects. Steve, do you want to read them off the sheet?
Yeah, the Stink Brain, I kind of do this anyway, but it throws a mushroom that periodically sheds poisonous spores, inflicting DT_viral_color viral damage and status effect upon nearby enemies. Clearly that's taken from a Loke tag in the game.
Sure, and what about, oh, no. What
Bright
about,
Bonnet, though, produces a rejuvenating mushroom that emits a radio pulse, increasing Noko and his allies' energy and applying a buff to ability strength that lasts for a short time.
And what about
Okay,
spirit
so a
ability?
damaging one and then an energy strength. Sorry,
Are we seeing this yet?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
is it energy? Yeah, energy strength.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Reverting to sprawdling form. That is a word.
Sprawdling.
Sprawdling. Causing Noko to heal rapidly. While in this state, Noko is untargetable and releases spores that lull nearby enemies to sleep.
So you can walk on.
Very
Oh,
interesting
okay.
use of that.
Untouchable,
Okay.
healing, and
at
controlling
it.
enemies.
You
Okay.
can walk on the little ladder. And yes, you can like float, and you can pulse around.
These little guys have very shapely posteriors.
I know.
eh?
You take
Is it-
Ember
is this
heirloom.
Is it the
They have
what
cute little
Jeff was
butts.
talking about?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
You can see, well, they're jumping a lot. So I
That's
guess
true,
Warframe.
that's true. They get
Warframe in a
posterior
nutshell.
with it. Love it.
Even
And then
mushrooms
the
apparently have to
fourth
have it.
Spore Spring unleashes a chaotic ballistic mushroom that seeks enemies and bounces explosively off whatever it touches.
So this is basically
Oh.
like if you can imagine the wind up of like a just the most chaos. If it bounces on enemies, mushrooms, it's so it basically let's see if we can find some enemies to use it on.
That sounded like a critter liberation. Okay.
All right, let's see
So
what we
a
can do here.
bouncing
Yeah,
mushroom
contact with any
attack.
Noko's mushrooms invigorates them, doubling their effect triggering rate. Is that also on enemies as well now, or
Yeah,
from
so
your
really,
description?
so you can see that I cast a Stink Brain, I'm
Yep.
casting this. I think everything's probably going to die, but you can see that it's bouncing around back and forth. Let's see if I can find a cluster of enemies to cast the ultimate on.
Looks
as
like
well
it's
as the
targeting
dragon.
its
But
bounce
really what
around.
we're dealing with
That's
here
cool.
is you're
It's not
placing these
total
mushrooms
random.
tactically as you go by them. You can, when you're in your little sprawdling form, lots of opportunities to really just like turn the battlefield into something you can survive, something you can CC enemies with. And if you get momentum going with the Spore Spring, what you'll find is you can really just absolutely dominate zones, clusters of enemies for all things Noko.
Okay.
And if you like cute sounds, this is the frame for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
Wonder
This
what
is
the
one of
subsume
the
is?
sound designers' first
Might
frame
well be that
he
throwing
definitely found.
projectile.
Cool.
Oh, that's
Jeff
cool.
has been working on it, and yeah, the cute little sounds that he's been coming up with for the abilities, it's great. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, he's a cutie. I'll get into a more depth. This is pretty low level content right now. I can get into higher stuff with Noko later to show you all how it's working. But generally, what you're going to be
Oh,
wanting
is
to
it?
be doing
Oh,
is
I missed that bit.
maximize the pulses
I thought there was
from
something
the
else before.
mushrooms. When the Spore Spring hits them, it gives them pulses. So you'll just be getting energy, strength, viral over and over and over again with increased wind up. So,
So yeah, you're kind of planting a little shroom garden, aren't you?
Shroom Garden,
Yeah.
and then you can survive.
Yeah, it'll have to be
This
one
will
of the
allow
two
you to
mushrooms that I.
survive
For some reason, I
fully,
thought the mushrooms were
and
on
then
the
you
same
can
ability, like Wisp.
Just kind of walk around and have a little time.
That sounds amazing. Do you want to show this more? Or do you want to look at some of the weaponry and stuff?
There actually is a sound video we should look at, Charlie, while I'm loading up more
Yeah,
stuff.
speaking of cute
You're going
sounds,
off
just
script.
a little behind the scenes of how some of the sounds were gathered.
A watermelon crushing a salad is not how I expected this to happen. Oh. Okay, I think that was the end of the sound bit. Because the stream is still running. I can see that the ticker's still going at the bottom. There we go.
Nothing more classic.
Oh,
than,
did the game freeze? The stream freeze? No. Oh, okay. We're here. We're here. Can you see us?
We're here.
I see F
We're
and
back.
Rip.
Yep, yep.
Oh.
It was
What,
more of
bring it
a
back?
you cut your scene,
Okay, we're here.
DE.
So we also have a signature weapon. He is going to have the Arbusep, which is an arc gun.
Just a little tiny little weapon.
Oh,
An
is that over
arc
on-
gun.
is that-
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it on screen?
No.
It will be in a second.
It's all good.
I'll
Switching
do
over. Oh,
There
the
you go.
gameplay, right?
gameplay.
Nice. Oh,
So
well,
that's
Oh,
the
no, that's
model.
okay.
That's fine. That
That's
is
all
Looks
good.
great.
Yeah, that's some of the model work, and then the gameplay. Here it is.
Oh
in
wow.
game.
Okay.
So he has a arc
That-
gun.
that is
and we do
a
have a little
hefty
bit
arc
of quality
gun,
of
yeah.
life coming for arc guns as well. So,
Awesome.
so I am jumping a little bit ahead.
Yeah,
not,
you're jumping ahead.
Not
man.
too
It's
much.
hard to keep up with my
But
schedule.
as part of the loop, you will be able to find new. A new way
Primary
to upgrade your arc
and
guns. Where we're gonna allow
secondary
you to put
arc gun
arcanes on them.
adapter,
So
arc
arcanes
gun
will be
adapter.
possible on arc guns as of this update. The Noco update
So it looks like they're
is
splitting it
going to
into
allow
two
this.
categories.
You'll be able to get the adapter type, which we are going to give you as an option in the store with Nightcap. And then what we're doing is we're actually letting you use because arc guns are sort of this be-all mega gun, but they have properties from a lot of the other arsenals. So you'll be able to use one primary and one secondary. So you can kind of mix and match for the first time between primary and secondaries.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because the arc gun tier is like just chaotic. So you'll get one primary slot and one secondary. So
Very neat.
Yeah, you can.
That's super cool.
You can swap around there, and you'll be using this giant.
That could be a powerful combo.
So
yeah.
glad I thought of that.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that weapon. That's just out of control.
But for him, because he's so cool.
Yep.
Like, look at him.
Is there another weapon here? 12A asset. I was wondering about.
Just thinking about it, then that means that.
Was that the render of
That's
that?
Yeah,
render,
Ego's thinking similar to me. If you have both primary and
Don't worry
secondary
about that
deadhead,
one,
or like
Charlie, but
primary and
we
secondary
can go through
dexterity.
let's go through all of those assets, and Steve can talk about them because I'm sure he'll love it.
We're still talking about Noco?
Yep.
Just pre-charged with a bit of
this is the arc gun.
melee, and
I
then go
thought,
into it.
You know what would be cool? I wonder if the Warframe team would be open to my suggestion to put on like 2 arcanes. So I called a meeting with the team and announced. Anyway, that looks cool. What else?
Okay, Steve.
Closer view.
human
with
interest
some
story.
Material and texture detail.
Yep. That's vicious. I kind of want to see it
That's
shooting.
when
Those
non-arcades have a
crazy
chance.
little things fire out.
They do.
I bet you that looks amazing.
This is some of the artwork
hear
for
that.
what you'll be completing for your destination underground. So you'll have to find what all these mushrooms do. Some of them are going to make you hear voices. Some of them are going to make the world feel a little more woozy. So good luck with your mushroom hunting.
I saw someone in chat saying,
Oh, we'll
I
see how
want a
that comes
minigame
together
with
then.
the Sprawdlings, but isn't that kind of what happens? Right? You're kind of playing as
Yeah,
the
you are.
Sprawling.
Yeah.
You are
That's what
playing
it
as
is,
Sprawling.
yeah.
So he kind of does have a bit of a mini game there. Okay, cool. Sorry.
And
Continue.
what else? Yep, Oh, this is a little glimpse of some of the concept work for Nightcap. So here is our charming lad.
Spoiler. That's a rank spoiler, isn't it?
Not really.
Faction.
This is just histories.
So charming.
Oh,
though.
okay.
He's very charming.
That looks like a spoiler to me. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Like complaining about
Yes,
spoilers
I
that
was
may have
waiting
turned
for
it
this.
into a spoiler.
Mushroom floof. Let's go.
Makes sense, yeah.
Adorable.
They're gonna make all the little
juice those butt
bouncy
cheeks
mushrooms. They're gonna make the
Yeah.
two small.
I don't know.
Okay.
Thank
all.
you. That's wonderful. Yes.
Okay,
And
Steve.
of course we had the fruit and vegetable video.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, it kind of looked delicious.
Yeah.
Never thought of having watermelon and lettuce together.
It's like that you
but
can.
no.
They're always
It
like
could be good.
the reliable like veggie smashing.
It's
like
tale
that.
as old as time.
Various fruits can go into
What do you
your
have next for
typical
us,
salad,
Steve?
so add a sweet turn to it.
And then, so what's going on with the music? Because since we have Matt here,
Yeah.
and we have these things, I was kind of like wondering what's up with this. Like this is going into the Undermine, right?
Yeah, so these are featured in the new update. They're called Imbiras. And I've wanted to get a proper version of the. You know, we have a Western version called the thumb piano, and it's always out of tune and sounds bad.
Yeah.
So I found on Etsy a maker in Zimbabwe, and so yeah. Now here I'll see if. So these are all over the
All right.
the Noco sound of that underworld you just saw. And yeah, along with a lot of vocals that I did and some vibraphone, that was sort of and a synth also. I got a new synth for this update, and that's kind of the sound.
new
of the,
synth for it?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got the Polybrute 12.
Why would you have bought the Polybrute 12 specifically?
Well, I
Oh
was
wait,
talking.
is there a story?
Yeah, I was talking to
us.
Eric about it. I was like,
Oh.
well, you wanted the CS80, and that goes for about $100,000.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really have that kind of money, but what about this modern one that is much less, but still a lot, but is also very cool and can do a lot of the things that the CS80 can do. And so I showed that to you, and then I think you had talked to Reb, and then so I get a text from Reb with the link to like a Lung McQuaid, and you're like, oh man, this would be so cool if this was used in Warframe. So I was like, okay, well I guess I'm buying it.
No pressure.
Yeah. Creative director just told me I got to.
That's super pressure-y.
Yeah, seriously.
But no, it was good. I needed someone to push me
Give you
into
the
it.
nudge?
Yeah.
Interesting way around it, I
I think you can
suppose.
actually hear it in this context too.
sounds
if you come
amazing.
back to the gameplay.
So we're
Charlie.
Sprodling gameplay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exclusive Sprodling gameplay.
Yeah. You
World,
never,
world
first.
reveal.
we're leveraging
Yeah,
the
you can hear it
tech
now.
that you could only. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah, this was a fun opportunity to do something really yeah, you stepped up to the plate.
Oh man. Amazing.
Yeah, a lot of experimenting to actually find the end result here. Because, it still has to sound like Warframe. I don't want it to just be like, we did something entirely new. So, yeah.
Gotta keep the
gotta-
vibe.
Find that thread, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will be experiencing a very different type of thing going on with the soundscape, the fact that we added a full underground. So please enjoy.
The combat track is going to be wild.
Oh, yeah.
No one's heard it yet, but
Yeah, it's not in, is it?
it's not in yet.
not-
it's not
finished
I
yet.
didn't think I was playing it. Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's great.
Oh, I can't wait. We got new combat music. That's like 2 full scores for this then, 2 full songs.
Yeah, and another one. Yeah.
There's and one of the visions.
got
there's
3
a
tracks coming in?
bespoke piece
All right.
for that
Oh,
too.
right.
So, but
right.
you got to get there first.
Yeah, you got to earn your lore.
Okay.
All right, back to camera, please.
Earn your lore. My goodness.
All right.
Okay, it's aggressive.
All right, Steve.
Do we have to
bring
get
it
out
up
the
for us.
bonker modes?
Well, I think we should move on.
Do we need the
to,
bonker modes for some of y'all here?
Our next reveal, which is a deluxe. There it is.
Holy
That's a very fancy looking deluxe. My
Wukong
word.
Deluxe.
Man, oh man.
So this is Key Art 19A, for those that are wondering.
The Steam reviews are about to go very positive.
And
Even more positive.
This is the Wukong Stone Monarch skin.
Well, that's one way, but it's
gameplay
this is
in parentheses.
Qitian. Qitian.
Oh, hello. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so-
Yes.
yeah.
You need to talk about this
Yeah.
because you've been taking lessons,
Yeah,
hardcore.
So this is a brand new Wukong Deluxe package that is coming with our October 15th Valis Undermine update. So this skin is very much, we were looking for like the coolest vibes we could pull into our Wukong. So if you come to gameplay, Charlie, I can show folks some stuff. You'll see in his hand, he's holding, this is our first ever skin set for the Sun and Moon. So the dual katana set
okay.
So good.
from Duviri now has a skin. It's very, very inspired by just like a deep look into all things Xianxia, I think it's called. It's like celestial warrior vibes. Very, very, very cool stuff.
That does
And
match
we
Wukong,
are,
yeah.
We put like I think the most fur we've ever done on a Warframe.
That is a
So
lot of,
he's got like a fur tail, but it's
fur
just like
textures
the
and
sculpted
cloth
cloud
textures, isn't it?
details. He just is absolutely breathtaking, and this will be coming in all regions, all platforms. Everyone will get a chance to get this on the 15th of October.
I love the snow warmth.
And then, again, this is a
Right?
15th of
Yeah,
October item.
Between him and Noko's hat,
Yeah.
like it's like a winter wardrobe.
Yeah, perfect timing.
So yeah, and there's a few other treats in there. So please look forward to the skin.
Wukong
2 weeks to
10,
Wukong
did I say
Deluxe.
that?
Qitian.
Qitian emerges supreme to claim his rightful title. Did you write that? That's very
I did
dramatic.
not, but-
Okay, no. Okay.
What next?
Okay, that's
All right.
Oh yeah, toss them through.
What happened to Lavos
so
concept?
we've got,
When it happens, it happens.
Sketch 20A.
Lavos mains
Yep.
are used to
So
this.
this is concept work to have something that matched the feel of the blades. So it's
yep.
I think it's our longest dangle to date, or
Okay.
citation
Wow.
needed.
Wow.
Citation.
Longest dangle to date.
Citation.
One way of framing it.
That's a
Okay.
quote. Beautiful. Love this.
Keep on
Love
going.
the kind of elements of jade in there. It's
Yes.
so amazing.
Yes.
Delicious.
Yes. And that is the sculpt of the actual Sugatra.
It's our longest Sugatra to date. I don't
That's
know if you
that's
know
what
that.
they're saying.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, great.
All right, what else, Steve?
Um,
That's not the only deluxe skin, is it, in this update?
They're just not going to fix the ticker down the
some
bottom, are
sigils
they?
and-
I know they
What's
can
this
live
stuff? Are we
update it,
not
and
using that?
they're
that's,
apparently
that's
choosing
treats
not
for
to.
the reveal.
Oh, whoa, Lavos.
Yep.
Well, you're asking.
Oh,
there it is.
Smokes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Steve? Anything
Well, I
to
think
say?
we're showing too much stuff.
Yeah.
Anything to say?
I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Could you talk to us about if you like
Lab
what
coat,
you see?
lab
Yeah, let's go to. Can we go to game?
No. What do you think of the?
Oh, okay, yes, this is going to be my desktop wallpaper for like
Right?
6 months at least. It's so incredible. But you have it running here.
Yeah,
in
I know,
game
it's
as well.
it's hooked up in
And
game.
you're avoiding pink and green, which is nice.
No, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
playing around here. I have some other attachments on because
I love the top of the helmet. There's like a cool.
Yeah.
The sloshing physics. are
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
His belly's got it too this time, and he has little snake. Look at his little
Yeah.
snakes.
Labos has picked
know
up
how I feel about
legs.
the
I want to like snakes. but I'm
alchemist
kinda
equivalent of an
scared.
arc reactor on the
Well,
chest.
In this case,
Interesting.
and the Signa is super cool. It's like a little subtle here because if I do default colors, maybe you'll see it. But it has like a laser vision for him. Like it's like
Oh,
cool, like,
okay.
it's giving like Mortal Kombat.
A
vibes.
front Signa. Okay.
Anyway, this is
Gorgeous.
He got eels.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is coming as well in Valis Undermined.
Is there a name for this Lavos Deluxe?
There is.
Got
Would you like to read
eels
it? The Chimea.
around
So
the
it's
base there.
like Chimera, but Chimea.
Kamiya? Okay.
Very liquid, heavy on the Lavos.
Now we're getting to the main
Nifty.
event. Everyone's been waiting for this. A very long Pablo video explaining cool new reworks of things. This one is Asset 25A, microphones muted, damage attenuation. Are you guys?
Hello. Sorry I couldn't be there with you for the Devstream, but here
All
I am
right.
virtually to talk about damage attenuation.
I can't
You
make
guys
this
have
any
been asking
louder.
us to look at it for a while, so here we are. Sorry if there's a little bit of construction noise, cannot be helped. So what is it? Damage attenuation is a system that we use mostly for bosses, where if they take a lot of damage in a short amount of time, they raise their defenses so they don't die as fast.
Yep.
What is the purpose of it? The purpose is, since we have such a big gap on how much damage you can do in Warframe, think of someone that has been playing for a long time, but doesn't have the best ribbon in the world, doesn't have max arcanes, they don't have like all the shards, Tau Forged on their Warframe, etc., etc.
Right.
Compare that to someone that does have the best of the best, the latest incarnate, everything format to the extreme. That gap in damage is so large that if we tune bosses for the bottom group, then for the top group, whenever you go into a brand new boss that we just released, like we just released Thoraxia, for example, you go in to fight the brand new boss that we worked on, you get there, shoot her once, she's dead. Obviously, that would be pretty anticlimactic. You probably wonder, why did they spend 4 to 6 months working on this boss if it's just going to die in one shot? It probably would be pointless for us to even work on bosses at that point. So if we, instead of that, tune the damage numbers for the top group, then that bottom group is going to suffer because it's going to take 1,000,000 years to kill that boss because he's going to have so much health that he's going to feel like chopping wood. So obviously we don't want either of that. So that is the purpose of this. Yeah. It allows us to balance somewhere in the bottom middle, and then basically damage attenuation takes care of making the fight last a certain amount of time for both groups. What
Our damage is too crazy and
there's
unbalanced. Yeah.
So the first one is it doesn't work really well for scaling levels. So all the numbers are tuned for the normal version. So when you fight the version in like Deep Archimedia, for example, sometimes those fights, and you probably experienced it if you're a veteran, those fights end up taking 25 minutes or something crazy. And obviously that's not fun for anyone.
So they've tuned the numbers
The
wrong
other
for high
the
levels.
other issue is that it's very confusing. There's many different variants of the system. So some are affected by fire rate, some are affected by other things. So that obviously is no good. No one understands exactly how it works, and it changes from boss to boss, so we don't like that. And the third issue is obviously for a game like ours, where it's a lot about like getting the next upgrade and getting the more powerful mod and the more powerful Raven and blah. It feels bad that once you have good gear, the boss fights don't feel that different than when you have extremely good gear. Because once you're past a certain point, the damage attenuation will kind of keep pushing back so you don't go too fast. Obviously, that doesn't feel good. So what are we changing about this? We're changing a few things. So first, no more flat numbers. So the way it works right now is essentially all of those damage attenuation thresholds are set up by flat numbers. So imagine something like once you deal more than 10,000 damage in a second, the damage attenuation kicks in. Well, that works fine when you're like in normal, But once you're in Steel Path, 10,000 damage is kind of nothing, so that means the
thought they were
attenuation
level
kicks
scaled.
in right away. Once you're obviously in Deep Archimedia, it means 10,000 damage, you apply, 100 times that. So it obviously is not very useful at that point. So instead of that, now it's going to be based on percentages, and that will allow it to scale much better throughout the game. So you'll never encounter now those 30-minute fights in Deep Archimedia. We're going to standardize it. Again, like I said earlier, we have many different versions. So there's like some that are affected by crit, some that are not, some that can be circumvented with fire rate, some that were made for a single boss. We have a whole bunch of different systems for this. We're going to standardize them all into one so that as a player, you have more clearer experience when you're playing against bosses, and it doesn't feel like it's all over the place depending on the boss that you fight. And it also makes it easier for us to maintain and be sure that it's working as expected.
There are some issues with standardization, we'll cover that.
And as we touch it, it basically spreads throughout the game. We're lowering the attenuation. This is to address that other thing that I was saying, which is that at a certain point you feel like your upgrades no longer kind of matter for bosses because the damage attenuation kicks in too early. So right now there's some bosses where attenuation kicks in like when you have almost no gear, you immediately starts kicking in. So with these new numbers, it's much more forgiving. It takes significantly longer for those the damage attenuation to kick in. It's hard to give you like precise numbers because again, it also will scale based on the level that you're fighting. But if you're something like Deep Archimedia, you probably can have an Incarnon with Roar and you'll have a hard time kicking into the damage attenuation. Basically, it'll be hard to break into that barrier where the damage attenuation starts to intervene. So hopefully with that, you'll feel more the effects as you get gear and as you get stronger, you'll be able to see larger numbers against those bosses. Obviously, if we just did that, the bosses would die immediately. So overall, we're changing the effective health of those bosses since we know where you're going to fight them. So we know like if you're fighting one in Steel Path, we know the sort of gear that we can expect from you to have on Steel Path. We know what sort of gear we can expect from you in something like Deep Archimedia or on normal. So we're going to tweak the health of those bosses to deliver a similar experience to what it is today on kind of our target gear. It's going to be a similar amount of time, but that does mean that because now it's health and not attenuation, if you get better gear, you kill the boss faster. If you have lesser gear, you kill the boss slower. So now your gear actually matters more. The other thing is we're fixing it for multiplayer. Right now, the way it works is once attenuation kicks in for one player, it kicks for everyone. So with this new version, let's say you're super veteran with all the gear in the world, attenuation will kick in, but it won't affect someone that has more middle of the road gear playing with you. It'll have to apply for each person. So, yeah. So there's way too many bosses. This is a very large change. There's a lot of bosses. There's a lot of versions. The normal, the Steel Path, the Deep Archimedia, the hard modes. There's many variants, and obviously there's a lot of different kind of combinations with different warframes, different weapons and whatnot. So we're definitely expecting that once this releases, we're still gonna need to tweak it some. As you guys test it out and you play it and you give us the experience, you'll say like, hey, Paolo, this boss now is taking too long to kill, and then we'll probably nerf it. And then you'll say, oh, this one now just drops when I shoot it twice. We'll probably buff that one. And then basically, we're going to need your feedback to help us figure out the things that need touching. A great example, for example, is the Tridolon. We've tried it with the best gear on live and on dev, and it feels pretty similar to us. But if you're out there and you say like, hey, I could do 27 runs per night before, and now I can only do 26, we'll take a look and we'll see what we can do. Anyways, I'll be back to talk about Overrun later. I'll see you then. Adios.
We're going to take a look at a recap slide from that awesome video from Pablo.
Can we look at the concept art of the cat?
No, that's not what that is.
Oh, okay.
But we have, this is a lot of text, so damage attenuation.
Screenshot this.
Because we have another video from Pablo. Let's roll.
Back.
A rework video.
And it's gone.
Hello. I'm back this time to talk about Overrun rework. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. Basically, talk its abilities. not in the order that they're listed, but in the order that you kind of use them in mission. So hopefully that'll make some sense. So let's start with his third ability, Renewal. So Renewal is a heal over time. It now applies on affinity range instead of a fixed range. The ability cost is now fixed. It doesn't change. Before it increased for every ally that got it. So if you had any party members with summons and stuff like that, it could get extremely expensive for you to sustain the ability. So you no longer have that problem.
Very
you also
basic
don't need
fix.
to recast if they lose it. Before you had to, if they were nullified or if they fell into a hole, you had to be recasting the ability. Now you don't need to do that, so that's pretty good. It also increases armor for you and your allies. So you can see in that upper right, I have a 638. That is how much armor Renewal is giving me. And for allies, it gives twice as much. So you can actually protect them quite a bit with that. Also, the heal is doubled when used on Hollow Ground. So let's put a Hollow Ground here.
Simple bit of synergy.
Right now, the heal is even doubled right now. You can see I cast it this way. What is this? Hallowed Ground is now a circle. No longer a cone. You no longer need to mod extreme ranges to cover the area. It is now always radial, so much easier to maintain. We also improved quite a bit how it works on separate distances like that. So you can see it actually went up here to protect, and it's no longer... It used to have a lot of issues when you try to use it in
terrain fixes. Good.
In different elevations. So now
I'm just making a lot of notes on all this.
To things like this. Additionally to that, it now does radiation much more reliably. Before it was like a chance to deal radiation once per second. Now it's guaranteed radiation twice per second. So you can see enemies are getting to 10 stacks of radiation pretty quickly, which synergizes really well.
Hell of a lot more status, make the ability work.
Arcane Fallout, you can see the orbs are there. I should probably use this thing before my yapping kills us all. We also upgraded how Hollow Ground interacts with nullifiers. So the way it used to work is as soon as a nullifier touched any part of the Hollow Ground, it would basically dispel it, which was pretty annoying because Hollow Ground could be quite big. So now it will only prevent the effects of Hollow Ground on allies that are inside the bubble or on enemies that are inside the bubble. It will no longer dispel the ground. We also made that change for Oraxia, and we also made a few other changes to three other interactions with nullifiers. Let me talk about his passive.
Okay.
So you see those shields that I have around me?
We'll look back at that.
His
all
new
right.
passive. Whenever Oberon picks up a health orb, he will get one protection like that and will give it to his allies as well. And that protection, what it does is when you take a hit, you take no damage. So you can see that absorbed the entire damage for the entire damage attack. So basically you can use that to be like fully protected as long as you're getting orbs, which is pretty easy to do when you have Fallout, or later we'll talk about some other way to get that. Oberon's 1, there's an Eximus, who's a good target to use it on. So you see when I cast it, it immediately removed all of his overguard in one shot. And it does percentage damage, and then does a secondary hit around them for that percentage of damage to enemies around it. So you want to use it on units that have a lot of health, so that the damage then they deal around them is higher. See here?
So hit the big
so
target.
The entire regard is gone, and you see it killed a bunch of enemies around it.
And slam the nearby stuff.
He has quite a bit of health, so. His fourth ability now has line of sight, so you have to be careful where you use it. Now when you use it, it will always strip armor, which I guess I didn't choose the best place to showcase that because they don't have armor, but the armor strip no longer requires you to have them on the grass. It will work in any situation. It does way more damage now, something like more than triple, I think, and also scales based on how many stacks of radiation they have on them, so that deals even more damage. It also gives you armor for every enemy you hit, and it also scales with how many stacks of radiation you have. So in the top there, now it says 1288. If you remember earlier, it was like 600 and something. So it now gives you even more armor there, which obviously synergizes really well with then giving armor to your allies and protecting
So not
them
dissimilar to how it works with
everything
Hydroid on the damage
around.
bonus.
Also, this ability always used to give health orbs. We just picked some of those. But they used to be very hard to do because you had to get the exact kill with the fourth, which is tough to do because obviously, there's a whole bunch of other AoEs and stuff going. Now it marks enemies, so when you kill them, they still drop the orbs. You can see the orbs flying there, even though I didn't kill them with the ability. Just the fact that I used the ability on them marked them to basically get those, be able to drop those orbs, which obviously synergizes really well.
This is a lot of big changes.
The protective stacks that you see around me, so that enemies cannot kill me. And that's about it. That's the whole kit. Hopefully you understood. Like, I'm sorry I gave it out of order, but I think hopefully that made more sense than if I tried to explain it in order. But who knows?
It made sense to do it that way, yeah.
If I should not do that ever again.
I do
more
that
details,
sometimes.
because there's a lot of nitty-gritty details that I couldn't go over in this video. You can find those in the dev blog, and it'll go into way more detail than I did here. Hopefully you're excited to try it out. I'll see you soon. Adios, adios, adios. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Cool. Damn, all right. A lot of details to look forward to on
Two videos
that.
back to back. We have a recap slide for that one. Take a screenshot because we still have a ton to do and it's only...
Yeah, exclamation QOL if you want to look at details on the damage attenuation and the changes in the dev workshop.
I'm going to unfortunately have to be back
exclamation
in just a sec.
Oberon so that you can find out the details there.
Look at
and
him.
Nice key art.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
Marketing team killed it.
Looks
Digital
great.
arts team.
What does chat think of the smite changes?
It just feels so good.
Yeah?
Like, it's just like you pick out a heavy with Overguard, you actually smite him, and it does that secondary kunk on his little
that's
minions.
nice.
It's
You think an ice cream cone is good. Wait till you try an ice cream circle.
Oh, is that what you're cooking?
I've been working on that the whole time he was talking.
It's 6 minutes to choose.
6 minutes to think of that.
I wonder what you could do with 7 minutes.
You wouldn't believe it. Now we're going to go on. This update is
humongous.
ginormous. Thank you for sticking with us, everyone at home. And we're still going. We still have so many cool things to show you, including the mod quest.
Yes. So would you believe that in addition to Oberon rework, damage attenuation, the Valis Undermine, Noko,
7 steak knives.
and here we have, Charlie, if you want to come over, a cinematic quest is also releasing.
You jumped right into it.
This is the intro cinematic to The Teacher.
Right, what I miss? All right. I'm picking up the context. It's going to be the...
This is a intro quest to teach you modding.
Teacher
all
quest,
things
got it.
The Teacher will be released. You can play it if you're new or a veteran, and hopefully it gives you a real hands-on look at all things modding in Warframe. It happens right after Vor's Prize in the narrative. It introduces Teshin, and our good friends at Sumo have worked very hard on not only all things Valis Undermined, but also on this mod quest. So they've done cinematic. That was just a quick intro cinematic. The actual quest itself has some pretty chonky moments for you to feel like you're seeing.
There are some small
some
changes,
really
yes,
interesting
Dash,
early
yeah.
Warframe stuff that plays right after Force Prize. So it's pretty wild. Yeah, I hope you'll. Obviously, if you know how to mod, this won't really be educational for you, but maybe it will. I don't know.
But it'll still be cool to
Yeah,
go
it'll
through
still
it.
be very
It'll
cool.
be very interesting to
and
see
then-
exactly
See
what they
more
talk
Teshin
about,
like
what they
that.
prioritize.
Yeah.
Younger years.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Teshin before.
Yep. Young Teshin.
Yes, that's right. We're just gonna quickly go through. I'm gonna just like.
We got a lot of
I know.
gameplay QL. We
I know,
have
I'm
stuff
just-
about screen shake and recoil.
I'm just gonna blitz through it.
You
So
gonna
if you come
blitz?
to my screen,
blimey.
yeah, we're gonna talk.
We're going blitz
Buckle
mode,
up.
guys.
Everyone
Yeah.
buckle up.
We're making.
We're going to talk really fast. We're going to following changes for Tenno and screen shake toggle off. Remove screen shake movement when firing guns at a diamond reticle.
And we also reduced some screen shake for weapons, one of them including the Trumna. Check
Weapons
the
that
whole
goes to
list.
the Titania, Dex Press, Phantasma, MK1, Bratton, Twin Ricardos, Pyron.
We also have added motion controls on the PlayStation platform. You can enable motion controls on the PlayStation with Valis Undermined.
Arcanes and Archons. You already saw that.
Did you know that
Signas on operators and drifters.
Which
Much
we'll
like
get to
Warframes,
after
players
that.
can equip Signas to their operator drifter via attachments in the appearance mentions. Equip
Someone
both sides
said
toggle.
faster.
Yeah.
If you prefer symmetry in your fashion, you can add a customized left-right separately toggle to the attachment screen. With that toggle off, shoulder armor and leg armor will apply the same armor piece to both sides.
Oh, that's dope.
It's actually dope because
man.
look,
That's
now
wicked.
they do them both at the same time. And
Yes.
shout out to our UI team for this
Oh,
one.
man.
Increased favorites palette. The number of colors players can favor has been doubled from 25 to, what's double of 25?
50.
Excellent. Reduce tech rot spawn in Skuldra exterminate missions. With the Valis
Good.
Undermine, we are reducing the number of underground tiles that spawn in the Skuldra exterminate and Hell Scrub missions.
Good.
Yes, that's for people that.
As that's where the tech rot are known.
Because if you want to fight the
Yes.
Skuldra,
We also have
you go to the
relit
Skull Mission.
entirely brand new lighting for the Grenier Asteroid. Here's before and after of one of the oldest tile sets in Warf. This is before. Chopped, washed. This is after.
Whoa.
Peeled.
Oh, wow.
Let's
More
take a look.
bloom too, I approve.
Let's take a look at that before
That's
again.
a big difference.
Let's take a look at that nasty. Oh, I
No
can't
bloom.
even.
Zero bloom.
It was fine. Just
Don't even look. Let's take a look at
But
that.
the whole set's been relit.
Yeah, the whole set. So
yeah.
this is just a key moment for you guys to see the before and after. And then
Better enemy visibility,
Yeah,
quality lift is very exciting, and relays as well.
relays as well. A specific attention. This is the Red Veil room. What's
Okay.
going on in there? What are they
Some guy
doing?
getting tortured.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Moody.
more spooky.
Moody.
Yep, more ruby.
Real
Okay.
cool. So this is all coming very, very well. It's
Taking
all
out
coming
lots
in
of the
October
old
15th.
yellow,
And that's not all.
dare I say, noise in
not
there.
it.
We also
Made it more
have
atmospheric.
a
Interesting.
Tenogen round where I'm going to pull a Megan and pray that I can read Tenogen.
Are you loading sandbox
Yeah.
/ character art /
Yeah.
dynamic sun test
But
level
where
dot
is
level?
Where is it? Is it this one?
He loves reading out
Everybody
file names,
following
doesn't
at
he?
home.
Names the level dot level. If it already
Yeah.
has dot level,
Wait,
you
wait.
don't have level.
Where does it? Tenogen sandbox. There it is. I found it.
Tenogen coming with Undermine. Let's load it up. It's going to be
Can you
amazing.
read these 6 in order?
Well, Blazing Cobalt has given us the Dagoth Yvonne skin. Where's that one?
Right here. Look at that. Oh my God. Gorgeous.
All right.
Gorgeous. Ernix has, my apologies to pronouncing these things, the Varuna Cavial.
Oh my God. Look at
that kind
her.
of skin.
That is a peculiar
Oh,
skin.
Dagoth and Bruna, my 2 queens. I
Yeah.
love
Very
you both so
wolfy.
much.
We have Citrine Celestis skin.
Cool.
Gorgeous. Look at her. Look at the queens getting their
Jada, Malaya, Oculas. We have another Dagoth thing here going.
Look at that.
Voidax helmet.
Look at that.
That's cool.
From
Nifty
Kakarot
helmet, yeah.
2812.
Kakarot.
Lubox and Noxer
That's
has
a cool old home.
give us the Corvex Sacrif. Oh,
it's animated, too.
sarcophago. That's
Yeah.
cool. Sarcophago, love that. And the Gothica Cyandana from Malaya Oculux.
Ignore the.
Headless.
They lost their head.
Don't worry about them.
Some
Look
people
at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, that's very on theme for what we're going to show you at the end of the stream.
Yeah, very,
Oh man,
candles,
there's
too.
a lot
very
to show.
devilish there.
Yeah, so this is a brand new round of Tenogen coming. Tenogen Undermined. If you buy it on PC, you will be supporting the artists directly with 30% of all sales going to them. And if you are a fan of these Warframes, which how could you not be? They're incredible. You will be able to get some amazing new customizations. So please. And if you buy them on console, it allows us to continue doing buyouts to get you them. So this is very much a community focus. And it's our 10-year anniversary for Tenogen. We've been doing this for 10 years.
Wow.
So stay tuned for more on
That's
that.
It's
awesome.
amazing.
Okay.
I was 21
I was
when
wondering
that
how it
started.
worked between
Okay.
PC and console.
So, Noko recap.
Slide.
Coming soon.
October 15th.
Yep.
October
New
15.
frame, level
There's
up,
the
quick
reveal of the
unlocks,
name of the
rework,
update.
Teach mod,
The Valis Undermine is the name.
Tenogen stuff, QL stuff,
We got a lot of great stuff coming in.
and
this.
relighting.
We do. Anything else you'd like to add?
Some trippy music
big.
and a lot of mushroom themes
Interesting.
and more vegetation.
Okay, now we're going to move on to. Well, before we wrap on Valis Undermined, we are going to talk about the old piece today, by the way.
Now we're gonna
But
close
before-
the stream with Old Peace.
No, but anything you guys want to add for Valis Undermined? You've been here the whole time hanging out. What's up?
I think there's too much in it. I think we should.
I know,
I think we
seriously.
should break it
Yeah.
in half and release another one next year.
Maybe one less piece of meat.
There's so much stuff in that update. That's ridiculous. I need a drink of water.
It does seem very substantial, doesn't it?
All right.
I already
Yeah,
spilled it.
tune in for some more Mbira and expensive synthesizers.
Yeah, are we gonna? How much synth are we gonna hear that you were pressured into buying?
I pretty much used only that synth for
Yeah.
all synth sounds. So yeah, it's very much relevant now.
So it's an update about peer pressure, eating drugs like shrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
And playing with
It's like the
synthesizers.
opposite of the Dare update.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Give me a
Don't do
compliment on
drugs,
that
leave it to the
chat about
Warframes.
My lipstick. You're welcome. I mean, thank you.
Very
Okay, now we're going to talk about Old Peace, which was obviously the huge reveal.
Yeah, you
We're
guys
not
haven't seen
expecting
us since
much
then
on
on
that until
Devstream.
December, right?
Oh,
This
really?
year.
You
It's
guys,
been
Warframe
that?
had
At TennoCon,
one.
we
We,
had
TennoCon?
concerts, we had
Wow.
panels, and of course we revealed Tau.
yes, we did. And we are going to show you a little bit more information confirming some things today for folks that may have been interested in the Operator remaster. So if you come
Yes.
over to my screen.
Oh, I don't know if they're ready for
So
this.
that key art showed you we know the Operator's part of this quest, and we remastered the Operator. And we also had Uriel, and we'll talk more about him as well. So first of all, the Operator remaster is indeed coming at the end of this year, and this is an extremely detailed remaster, which we'll go through a little bit today and more in future dev streams. But I also did want to confirm briefly that the Drifter is also included. She doesn't have any hair in
That's
here.
your drifter?
She's bald because we're
That's your
doing
Drifter.
True Bald.
You don't
It's
have
about
True
time.
Bald yet?
I can,
Yeah, come
I
on.
can finally live out my dream of
Yeah.
being bald.
So the Drifter is also getting the same level of remaster as the Operator
Amazing.
For this year?
for this year. We're
Holy
really
moly,
like when
really?
Aggressive.
Yeah. The team has set goals for themselves, and you know what? If we don't hit them, we'll let you know.
Wow.
But they are really passionate about making this awesome for you guys. So a lot of work is going into it, and we'll get right to a little bit of it here. First of all, we by hand the Operator stuff has been sort of retailored. More human ratios on the body. You'll notice the arms and the waist here. Don't look at that mushroom.
What is the sprottling doing?
I have the ephemera on.
This is like when you
Just
meet a
doing
dog and
sprottling
he's
stuff.
sniffing your butt. And you're like, not now. I'm just meeting someone.
But we have also decoupled the body from the faces, so you can now kind of swap between them without having to worry about like knowing what face goes for
The
what body.
compatibility, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So that
Okay,
is
A lot more choices and combinations.
we've totally decoupled. But we've also
That is
got the slider tech is still here, so you can still merge between faces.
Oh, okay,
So we have, but we have sculpted many more. And shout out to Nathan for taking these through. I have a little bit of makeup on here, which is also a new thing. Makeup patterns are coming, so you can do those, and you can still blend. But one really cool thing about the actual customization is we're adding eyebrows. So all of these will be customizable, so you can really get a customized look. You can change
So
the
we should
thickness,
care about that,
and
sure.
you can,
I
as
don't- I
always, you
don't
can
love the
still do
eyebrows
your
available
eye
at all.
colors, but now you can add an eye glow color, and you can do glow intensity.
I don't.
Whoa, scary.
Yeah, so things are really,
I'll leave that to those who
really,
dabble in that.
like, it is like a whole new approach. They also, because we know that it's really important that somatics are like the operator's story. So the somatics have all been sort of upgraded to this new 2025 art style.
Cool.
So you can really expect every stream from now until launch will go into this to give people a really good look at what's coming for this really in-depth remaster. So look forward to that.
Hell of a
pretty
lot of
crazy.
work
Sounds
in
great.
that.
Quality. Yeah,
Now,
it's really impressive.
why would we want to do operators and drifters in the same update other than to torture ourselves with
I don't know why.
with such goals? But we also have redone some of the hair to match. So let's take a look at a video from Nathan, not 2 minutes ago. We got a little Josuke going on. We got a little,
Yep.
These look so good.
yeah, these are
Like,
looking good. Hair
yeah.
caps are still coming
Yeah.
for some of them.
Cool.
But this is all on the operator. So
Oh, that's mine. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So really,
The 99.
It is a serious improvement
really important
over
detail
how
is
hair
these
has
will
been
have
before in
5 tint
Warframe.
channels, just like the Gemini skins do. So right now you only
That's
have
too many chin
No,
channels.
right now you only have 3,
No, just
but these will have 5.
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah, that I know. I
Okay.
know. I
Oh,
was
this
telling
is
Nathan how much I loved it. He's like,
Oh,
it
is that
doesn't.
Karate Kid?
That's yeah. That's from the
That's the caliber chicks.
Yes, caliber chicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of course.
yeah, that's great. Looking amazing.
So this is coming in the old piece. So this
so
is
good.
yeah,
They do look
really,
really
really,
good.
cool stuff.
Wow. Okay.
So when we showed the old piece, we kind of explained to you it's an update
We didn't show the old operators. I had to show the delta between
before.
No, don't do it.
They
Don't
know.
do it.
They
Don't
know.
do it. It's fine. They know. They know.
Never mind.
I don't need to see the old
Okay, cool.
next to the new.
old
So,
piece.
old piece. What else we got?
Well, let's take a look at another video we showed at
37A?
Yeah, let's take a look at 37A.
I love
Uriel, heretic of Zata, in banishment answer. Can the Orokin ever be forgiven?
Could be.
He spoke in truths. A devil has come.
Soul and Lua, we will cleanse this follower.
It is the edgiest of edge frames. I'm not going to translate that.
So as you know, that is Uriel, the Warframe, who is part of this Devil's Triad, part of the old piece, but in what we're calling an Entradi side story. And as we have come to develop this update, the themes, the characters, seeing Ballas again, we decided that the third proto-frame might just be something you've never seen before.
Someone in chat. Third proto-frame? Question mark?
So why don't we take a look at
Okay.
maybe a different perspective of that video.
Okay.
What need has a devil for forgiveness? When hell is a lie spun by madmen.
In some regard.
That was me throwing my wallet at the screen. What the hell is this? That's not allowed.
The depth of the Entradi guilt with the Orokin could only be explored through something perhaps relating to an Orokin proto-frame that Entradi himself orchestrated. So you will be meeting the first Orokin proto-frame, taking the role of Uriel. His name is Roth. You will meet him. All the story, all the pieces will come together to you. Roth, R-O-A-T-H-E, is the first Orokin proto-frame that will be the people are noticing something.
Yeah, chat's tuning
It's a
into
what?
this. Yeah, noticing stuff.
Not so sure. His voice might sound familiar.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Renee, thank you very much for joining the team on that casting and joining us for our project. It is an honor to have Renee Zager doing the voice of Roth.
Awesome.
Sorry, I don't know
And
voice
here we
actors
have our first
like that, so.
Nightcrawler being.
Someone help me out on
Honestly,
this
I
one?
didn't see it till now.
I know. Once I saw the comment too, I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very Nightcrawler.
Yep.
He looks awesome.
Yeah, he's and he does not like Albrecht Entradi.
I just don't know if you're allowed to do this.
In
Like,
what?
can we talk about this more?
Sure.
Okay. We gotta call a meeting. What the hell? Okay. Well, is this the end of the stream? Because I
So,
mean, that's a mic drop right
Uriel
It is. It's over.
there. Okay.
Roth and does not like Albrecht Entrati.
Was that Brian Cranston does the mic drop?
I don't know. Thank you to.
I mean, come on.
Any questions
Holy
before
shit,
we
that was
go?
cool.
Any closing remarks before we go?
Can't believe it.
Watch Tenno concert.
Watch the Tenno
Watch the
concert.
Tenno
Hey,
concert.
yes.
Yep.
And then,
There's
yeah,
also the
play
Tenno
the
concert,
update that's coming out in
which I think
2 years.
links for that have been posted over on the Discord.
Crazy.
We have a lot. I let Steve run the show today, so if we missed stuff, team, I'm sorry. But everything.
I did a great job.
Yeah. You did. Congratulations.
Good job, Steve.
Okay, thank
W
you,
in the chat
Eric,
for
Matt,
Steve.
for joining. Thanks for coming all the way
Yes,
in.
thank you for coming.
Yep.
Yeah,
Watch
thanks.
Tenno concert. Watch Tenno concert.
Yeah.
Thanks for hosting, Steve.
Love you, Tenno.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
later,
Bye,
chat.
everybody.
Thank you.
It was a great time.
Wonderful. All right then. Yeah, LU, go right ahead. Send the linky loos. Why not? All right, we are gonna drop off of that there now because that is their side of things all absolutely done. Let me just close all these bits and pieces, move my camera back to where I like to have it, get the background music on, all that good stuff. Where'd the music go? There it is. All right, cool. Wow. A lot in that Devstream, wasn't there? That was absolutely huge number of details. Only some of which I've got written down because their pacing was as ever on absolute point, wasn't it? Yes. Gods. Right. Yeah, just I've got notes on pages everywhere. What's my first thought on the attenuation changes? Broadly, sounds good. The devil is going to be in the details, devil frame. The devil is definitely going to be in the details, but broadly, the details do look good so far. So, just where's my recap on that? So, they're moving away from a flat damage attenuation threshold, moving over to percentage-based thresholds. So, to give you an idea as to what that may look like if you're not familiar with it innately or mathematically, you've probably encountered how dedicants at, say, normal level or steel path level, you can kill them. They do just kind of fall over to the damage as long as you have enough damage. But as soon as you get onto longer or higher tier bounties, or if you're getting onto ETA it is, then all of a sudden the dedicants are this brick wall to be dealt with. And that is no doubt going to be tied into how they've been doing that damage attenuation of setting flat values, and those flat values were not moving with the levels, which is certainly a choice. Certainly one of the choices of all time of the way to balance things, because, I mean, levels go up. That's just a fact. Levels go up, hit points go up with it, so interesting that they had that so broadly in the first place and that it wasn't even accounted for in EDA by the sounds of it. And nice that they are looking to shuffle away from that. So it'll be percentage based. Now, again, it comes down to the devil is in the details. I'm going to say that 1,000 times over when it comes to where those percentages lie. Because if those percentages are set for current game amounts, then you would expect normal missions to go as quickly as they currently do, and for higher level missions to get faster. But if instead those percentages are scaled differently, if the curves don't match level scaling, if they fall under it, or if the starting point is higher, then we could see a different shake-up in how the details come together. So really, because the numbers can be anything, and they've not given us numbers, just a change of intention, we can at this point only speculate on how damage attenuation is going to shake up with that. But we do have some more of the details they've given us there. So standardizing it to 1 damage attenuation across the entire game is both welcome and at a cost. And I hope you'll understand in a moment just what that cost really means. At the moment, damage attenuation is so different in so many places that the nature of what you should bring at any given moment changes depending on who you're facing. For example, I put out that recent guide on Plaguestar. Many other people have had their own suggestions and ideas as to how to handle Plaguestar, how to handle the damage attenuation of the Hemocyte, which matches the damage attenuation of Stage 2 Lephantis. The reason that works there, with those shotguns, with this style of approach there, is because that damage attenuation is actually percent based, but it's percent of remaining health of the boss. Meanwhile, if you go on over to the Acolytes, they have a simple damage cap, but that damage cap doesn't take into account crits and special damage features. You then head on over to Archons and Kuvaliches, Sisters of Parvos, the Dedicants, various other places seem to use their damage attenuation, which is a threshold-based attenuation, which then has a scaling or diminishing effect on it, and a very harshly scaled one at least. So that is what we have at the moment, is that there's so many different forms of attenuation. It's not visible which one you're dealing with, you just have to somehow know it, which you can't really get by just gameplay. You just can't. There is no feedback, there is no information from the game giving you the knowledge to work with. You just kind of try things out and see if you figure out what is working better or not working better. It's hell. There is a reason that people aren't regularly putting out the equations and perfect optimizations for those attenuations, because just knowing it is near enough impossible without having the details given to you up front. Standardization means that when you solve it in one place, you solve it in general. You know what you can bring, you know what you're being affected by, and how to work with it or against it. But it also removes that nuance of different locations having different weapons being the ideal way to handle them. Your arsenal becomes far more focused if your approach is no longer needs to be as specific. It's similar to how the damage type changes against armor and health impacted the types of damage you'd want to bring to various encounters. No longer do you go, oh, there's a lot of alloy armor, so I want radiation. Oh, there's a lot of infested flesh, so I definitely want heat. You can kind of bring whatever damage type you want, more just looking at the status effect, by and large. So standardization has that risk of taking out things that could have been or were previously good without refreshing, expanding the options otherwise. And again, we'll have to see how the details come together on how that works out. You will not be getting such a video from me, Zon. not a video on, quote, Noko's absolute cheeks. Just wrong channel. Alright, yeah. So theoretically, it would be the same weaponry for every single damage attenuated enemy in the game. Level scaling will have a mitigating effect on that, because the higher level enemies will still have more health, and it again comes down to how that scaling works. How do you go about setting those attenuation thresholds? We'll see how that all comes together. They have also said they're looking to lower attenuation, which similar to perhaps how partial armor strips were adjusted. So instead of having that horribly steep curve, where until you had like 90% of the armor removed, you basically hadn't removed their armor. Now it's a much gentler curve, almost a straight line, and we may be seeing a similar kind of equation introduced for attenuation, to make it where ramping up your damage doesn't lead to such a drastic fall off of what you're capable of. So that does sound good. That does sound good. Yo, old man with the cap, thank you very much for dropping your prime over here. Much appreciated. Welcome into the channel proper. Enjoy a lovely blue sub badge. Cheers on that. Now let's see, what else was there on the attenuation? Yeah, they made a claim that Pablo made a claim that the damage attenuation in Deep Archimedia, I think they said to the tune of taking an Incarnate weapon with Raw would struggle to trigger the damage attenuation. Now that is a huge claim to make. I don't know what kind of modding that Pablo had in mind there. I don't know what kind of Incarnate in particular Pablo had in mind there, but Incarnate weapons with Raw is usually what one would consider to be pretty damn good damage. Oh sure, you can take it further, you can stack buff on buff on buff on buff on buff, but if you're already at Incarnate plus a buffing ability, one should assume you're going to get the work done. And said we can test that? Well, we can't, yeah, because it's not in the game, is it? Devskull saying, did you mean it takes a second longer to kick in? Did you notice that? Well, you can't have noticed anything, Devskull, because it's not in the game yet. I don't know what you could have noticed when they're talking about changes up and coming. Or did I mishear on what he was saying? Because there was a lot of detail very quickly there, but could have sworn he was saying... he said that Incarnate plus War would struggle to hit it. We can test current iteration. Well, current iteration is damage attenuation is very easily hit. I mean, it is very easily triggered. That's precisely what he said. And I'm not going to go through the process of piecemeal testing exactly where, when, and how it kicks in right now, yeah. So unless someone has the clip and can say, oh, Ken, you misheard, the point I took away from that, because I've got my notes here because of this whole thing, is he said an Incarnate with Raw would struggle to hit the damage attenuation, I understood as the new system. Hey Queen, yes, the Devstream is finished. It might have meant lower tier Incarnates. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't... He didn't say. He just said Incarnates. So we don't have the information. Once again, the devil is in the details. This is the point over and over. They've given us the headlines, but those headlines don't give us everything. Headline including as well that bosses are going to have higher health. Detail that attenuation is going to be a per player basis, which is huge. That damage attenuation on per player basis, we'll have to see again how that all comes together, because at the moment if one person triggers the attenuation to an extreme extent, it's because they're also putting in a hell of a lot of damage. If that is instead split across the squad, say you got 4 players, one person doing omega damage, 2 people doing high damage, and 1 person doing pea shooter damage, does that mean then that the pea shooter damage is not going to be pointless anymore? In fact, it's going to be necessary to carry their quarter of the damage dealt. Could it end up taking longer? I feel like I might need to open Paint to really go over some of this. In fact, I'm going to open up Paint. Sod it. This is an MS Paint moment right here. Let's grab that. Let's fill it in with some full black, and then I'll put it on screen so I don't burn some people's eyeballs. Because I am generous like that. Just fill the screen. Nice big old area. Okay, let's put this on screen now for y'all to see. So. I fell off the screen a bit. There we are. As I understand for how it currently works, we've got big ol' damage dealt on this side. And then we have over here big ol' damage applied. Damage attempted, let's say. So as it currently works, my understanding is that it looks a little bit something like this. So you start off with your low damage, and it just works. So yeah, we'll just do that. You attempt your damage, you get your damage, it goes as you'd expect, no attenuation. But then you get to the bit where it attenuates, and my understanding is that it curves pretty damn harshly. Something kind of like that, to be honest. That is my understanding as to how damage attenuation works at the moment. So that as soon as it kicks in, it starts to taper off and hard, to the point that over this end of your damage dealt, you've basically seen no change. You just can't really get anywhere at that point. And it feels very punishing to be in a situation where no matter how much more you bring to the table, the game just doesn't give a shit. So, look at this bit by bit. First of all, the removal of flat attenuation would mean that at the moment, it would say like this happens at 10,000 damage, and so if you're up against a much higher level enemy, well, it's still happening at 10,000 damage, and so you end up hitting this massive slog where you're capped at a similarly flat value, not accounting for level. So removal of that, turning into a percent-based thing, would immediately make it easy to kill them. Standardization is standardization. It doesn't really affect the graph. Lowering of the attenuation. So that would suggest that it would move instead to a curve more like this. Oh, I slightly screwed that up at the end there. Let me try that again. There. So we're expecting a curve more like that. So you start off with the same amount of damage at the beginning, but once the damage attenuation were to kick in, it would be less severe and continue to give you damage as it goes up, would be more of the idea there. So that would be an improvement. You have more damage, you deal more damage, because there's just a lower attenuation being applied. There was also then the note of increasing the point at which damage attenuation kicks in. So you would actually have this line going much higher up first along that straight line. Oh, bollocks, what have I done? I was not on the straight line tool. Whoopsies. So you'd have the straight line go much further before then the attenuation would kick in. And that's going to just go off the screen at this point. Like so. So that would seem even better again, right? It would seem even better again. But then the bosses would have higher health. And if they have higher health, all the extra attenuation improvements aside, if they're going to have higher health, well then all that goes away. Functionally, if a boss has higher health, the equivalent is you have lower damage. So in comparison from current to new, it would look more like this, where you'd have the amount of damage you could currently get away with before attenuation kicks in, and then when attenuation kicks in, and maybe go up like that. Because that's the thing, if the thresholds are going up, but so's the amount of health of the bosses, that just brings it back down to where it is before. And this is kind of indication that Pablo was giving is having for at least the lower end of players, so where you haven't really capped it all out, maybe more along this line, is where you'd still get the same kind of time to kill. And the devil is in the details as to how they end up balancing that. I said I'd say it again. How they end up balancing that on where we get this crossover point, because this crossover point is what matters to any individual player, really. How far up can you go before you start noticing a benefit? Where would the negatives be? I think Pablo did say no more 25-minute ETA bosses. Yeah. And so it's the ETA bosses I would expect to be down the far end of the curve, off the end of this graph here. This is not a numerical graph. This is to give an idea as to how these different factors can interact. But yeah, making it where the ETA bosses are not absolute hell slogs, brilliant. And that's going to be a big part of moving away from those flat starting points before the attenuation just kicks in and shuts you out. But then there's attenuation per player. Say we do end up in a solo mission where, after all the changes, it does indeed feel like this. All the changes come in, Pablo and the team cuck their absolute hardest, and despite attenuation trying to get in the way, you still end up with an overall feeling of power. You get an overall buff, things are just stronger. That would be brilliant. But that could just be solo. Now, if you're in a squad, a lot of these attenuated bosses also have squad scaled hit points. This happens in various parts of Warframe, that by having more people in the mission itself actually becomes harder to compensate for more people attempting to solve the mission. If that happens with damage attenuation, where you get personal attenuation, then in, say, a 4-player mission, your damage can now only get to there, unattenuated. And thereafter, it will be much more fiercely stuck in place, like so. This is a possibility as to how it could shake out. This isn't a guarantee, this is speculation. You could have a 4-man look like that, and then each of the people in the 4-man squad would have to carry their own part to make up for it. You see this in certain missions already, where if a player is not contributing to the mission, it's just slower than if you were doing it solo, because the game is expecting everyone to be doing their part. And when you get used to doing it well at your speed, someone else who's struggling can really start to give you that feeling of being held back. So, again, for the 20th time, the devil is in the details when it comes to attenuation on this, as to how that gets balanced, where those values end up at, in comparison to today, in consideration between solo and squads, see how it all comes together. Estelle saying, I think the biggest benefit of individual attenuation is not having player B does 10 mil damage, so I do too. It kind of goes both ways though, Estelle. It goes both ways, because if the attenuation doesn't kick in for player A because player B is doing a lot of damage, does that mean that player A and B together can kill the boss twice as quickly? If the two of them can kill the boss twice as quickly as they could before, then the game would need to be updated to, reflect that, to have more health. But if the game gives the enemy more health in the first place, then that kind of just undoes the whole killing them twice as quickly. Either which way you shake it there, if it's designed to have the same overall result in a squad as a pre-update solo, then as soon as a squad member's not attempting to contribute to the same level that you are, whether it's because they're too busy running around dying, whether it's because they're running off to go pick up some loot they found in a corner of a map 600 meters that way, whatever their reason for not contributing to the level you are, if that's how it then gets scaled, there is that risk of having to do more in a squad to carry people, rather than just, so long as the team hits the threshold, you've hit the threshold. So again, for the 21st time, the devil really is in the details. So, let's have a look at some of these links then. Let's go over to the forums. Where's the forum link? There's my forum link. And it's signed me out again, oh for goodness sake. Just so I don't give away any details by accident. Sign me the in. Alright. Dev Workshop. Come on, forum. I know, 20,000 people are trying to clone this at the same time. Hello, Bionic. God, this really does not want to open. Warframe forums are crying, which understandable. Everyone wants to know about this. There's overrun stuff. There's damage attenuation, quality of life changes. Let's grab the quality of life and damage attenuation stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Now we can switch back to that screen. There we go. Okay, so we've seen the video. So more to the focus is what they've got here. Damage attenuation is one of the tools we use to normalize the difficulty of boss type enemies between groups of players, and its implementation has been a hot topic in the community for a while now. While meant to balance out high power builds, attenuation could sometimes lead to paltry damage numbers. Great to make an enemy hard to kill, but not necessarily fun for the player. Very true. Very true, especially on Dedicants. With community feedback in mind, we have some sweeping changes planned, which we've outlined below. The core of the goals as follows, and I do like this, we can see the intention to measure the changes against. Address outlier cases of bosses having a very long time to kill as a result of damage attenuation, notably in high-level content. Goal B, making player builds feel impactful against damage attenuated foes. And Goal C, standardizing how damage attenuation applies to majority of boss-type enemies in Warframe. Which I've already given my thoughts on earlier. Alright, Moon, you take care. So, this is all terms, and let's just have a recap as to how DE terms things, because sometimes they use terms which don't match standard player discourse. Damage attenuation is a mechanic that caps the amount of damage an enemy can take. Warframes use caps for damage per second and per... Sorry, Warframe uses caps for damage per second and per instance. Damage reduction is a modifier that directly reduces damage taken by a flat amount. Damage reduction is not directly relevant to this workshop, but I just wanted to point it out. There is max damage per second, a target cap on the amount of damage an enemy can take per second, as you'd expect. Sustained damage over time is reduced to avoid exceeding that target cap. And then there's max damage per instance, a cap applied to the amount of damage you can deal in a single shot. Time to kill then is just how long it takes a player to kill an enemy with their gear, which, yeah, that makes sense. So with the damage attenuation scaling, if you hop into a Legsite Harvest mission in Hulvania on the live build, a few things will change depending on whether you're on the normal mode or Steel Path. Enemies have different modifiers, squad consumables have cooldowns, and so on. One thing that stays the same is the current max damage per second and max damage per instance that the Legsite will take. It's still interesting to me that they had both a max damage per instance and a max damage per second attenuation on these things, especially as max damage per instance is a huge hit to precision single target heavy hitting weapons like sniper rifles, the things which are supposed to have high damage per instance. It's a very interesting choice of mechanic to include in a game that has sniper rifles taking an entire weapon slot. So with the details then, this is because damage attenuation applied to the Legsite as a flat value regardless of its health pool, which... Why? Why ever was that a thing? Is an honest question, to be quite clear on this. If you've got level scaled enemies, and those level scales scale from normal star chart tiers, level 30, 40, 60 even, all the way up to levels goddamn 500, that makes a big change to the numbers. You're asking, this would be the source of multi-shot cheese for Archons? Certainly on the original attenuation they had, yeah. Yes, the instancing was to counter stuff like the Heck Burst. Instance, I believe, is per hit, though, not per overall shot. It would be per individual hit, and this is how multi-shot seems to get around stuff. Or at least in the past has got around a lot more. It was a particular component as to how the Kuva Heck could one-shot the Archons in the How to One-Shot an Archon video I put out way back before they made changes to the Archons. Because the Kuva Heck had so many different pellets hitting at the same moment that the damage per second attenuation didn't have time to kick in. Or rather, it wasn't designed to adjust live that many shots hitting it. So yeah, at normal path levels these values could feel reasonable, but on steel path or even temporal or Archimedia, modifiers apply. That's where the bullet sponge allegations begin. The allegations have not been beaten. At certain points, DA becomes less of a tool to balance out player builds, and more so acted as a time gate to kill high health enemies. This is exactly what we've been saying. Exactly what we've been saying. It was one of the big criticisms that came out with the Murmur boss when that was released, that there was so much damage attenuation and so many hit points that it basically felt like a timer. That timer was, how long can you keep applying damage to this boss without dying? Can you do it long enough that the boss instead dies first? Which, if you want to have a boss fight which is all about surviving the mechanics, makes sense. If you want to have a game which is all about building up your builds to have ever-scaling higher numbers, makes less sense. A careful touch is needed to embrace the power of fantasy of Warframe while also ensuring high-level content is not completely trivialized. In the current iteration of DA, we have not accomplished that goal, to their satisfaction. Simply put, it's created gameplay interactions that are unfun. So the following changes coming in. DA values are now proportional to max health. Very good. Kind of a surprise it wasn't before. And secondly, DA MDPS, which is max damage per second, now applies independently between players. Okay. If we go back to the leg sight example earlier, players should notice a distinct difference in how DA applies to the enemy both in Steel Path and TA emissions. Instead of the max damage per second and max damage per instance using the same values of normal mode, the amount of damage players can deal per second and per instance will scale with their max health, asterisk. Max health for this calculation only uses the health value, overguard, shield and armor values will not be considered. Interesting. Interesting. Now, shield double scaling on Steel Path has already been fixed, so that shouldn't be an issue. Shield scaling and health scaling are pretty much on the same kind of curve in the first place, so it shouldn't be an issue. Overguard, most bosses don't actually bring out Overguard, so again, shouldn't be an issue. And armor is supposed to be more of a threat at higher levels, but also again it hits a 90% cap. So, shouldn't be an issue. Infested will be stronger? How do you figure that, Skullman? How do you figure the Infested will be stronger? As max health increases with enemy level and mission modifiers, so the maximum damage caps from DA. Makes sense. The result is higher damage output from players, and a more reasonable time to kill. Players who invested much time and effort into their build should feel more rewarded for their work, especially against high level enemies with DA. So D's focus with its sweeping change is to establish the overall time to kill for enemies within a reasonable range, considering the equipment available for players when they are first encountered. Okay. Since this is a significant change to how DA is calculated, D will be increasing the health of various bosses to balance with this new scaling mechanic. The goal is to reward players with powerful builds, but still avoid one-shotting Archons. Yes. The video may be a bit out of date at this point, but I'm keeping it for posterity purposes. D will cover the health changes in the standardizing DA section below. Alright. We got that coming in a moment. I was going to say, I assume they have higher health pools because they normally have less armor and no shields. So, when they say that they're going to scale things based on the health of an enemy, whether that enemy then has more or less health than another enemy is pretty much irrelevant. It's talked about within that enemy itself. As the enemy has more health, it'll be able to take more damage. The DA will be scaled according to the maximum on a percentage basis. So that shouldn't buff Infested in particular, or anything for that matter. This does feel personal. I mean, I'm not the only one who could one-shot an Archon, when the one-shotting of Archons was a thing. It's still pseudo kind of sort of a thing, there are ways around it still, but yeah. At the very least, it is recognizing that, yes, we in the community figured out your broken attenuation and got around it. Because the previous version was also absolutely cancerous if you were not beating it. You did Vara Hecken back in the day? Yeah, that's why I put in the video. Straight up. So, independent maximum damage per second per player. Currently, the MDPS cap in damage attenuation applies squad-wide. If you have a teammate blasting a 6th form or Incarnate form, late him at an Archon, there's a good chance they consistently hit those pillows before you have an opportunity to aim your gun. Yeah, makes sense. This could lead to situations where your seemingly powerful weapon could result in feeble damage output, and we all know this is basically a crime in the world of Warframe. Players spend hours perfecting their builds. We want them to feel impactful in mission as much as we can. Makes sense. Yeah, sure. If one person is doing 1 billion damage per second and you're doing 1 million damage per second, well, the approximate difference between that is about 1 billion damage per second. Yeah. The thing is that without attenuation, if a boss just had 1 trillion hit points, you would see the same thing. You would deal 1 million DPS and 1 million per second would pop up on your damage numbers, and then you would look at the damage screen and you'd see that you dealt 0% of damage because someone else had done 99.9% of it and yours is getting rounded to nothing on the screen. So, damage attenuation, if anything, tries to bring that in line, but then you get the player that's being... the weaker players being attenuated, rather than seeing 1 billion damage coming down to 1,000, they see 1 million damage coming down to 1, and they go, I shouldn't do 1. Even though everyone's getting the same damage reduction. 1 billion DPS, half a mirror lab. I mean, it depends. Are we counting per limb? Per cell on the enemy's body that mirror lab is targeting? Ooh. For mirror lab, numbers are more of a suggestion. Anyway. Alex Gold saying damage attenuation is a solution to the problem of Warframe damage progression and scaling. Yeah, that's been a clear point of it from the absolute outset of any kind of adaptive damage scaling, otherwise known as damage attenuation, is that, quite frankly, we have an insane variety of damage outputs, and when they want to showcase a boss, when they want something to feel more significant, they don't like leaving us the freedom to just hit 1 bajillion damage and call it a day. Damage attenuation is specifically designed to deal with the fact that they give us absolute freedom when it comes to scaling our damage to absolute bonkers levels. For better or for worse. So, with this in mind, the max DPS in DA will now be applied on a per player basis. Damage output of your squad mates no longer has an impact on the efficacy. I never know how to say this word. On the power of your attacks. Max damage, for instance, is always applied per player due to the nature of this mechanic, so it is unchanged. So to recap those changes, damage caps scale proportional to enemy health and is no longer squad-wide. We'll come to the next section in a moment here. This doesn't really answer my question. It's efficacy. I hate it. I don't like the word. I'm just not going to use the word. Sounds good to me. Right. So, if the damage attenuation is applied on a per player basis, bearing in mind that damage attenuation squishes the crazy ranges of damage right the way down, although it doesn't bring the bottom up, it's just a top level pushdown, then I mean, it would mean that players with different loadouts entirely would see more similar numbers, rather than everyone being scaled by the same factor at the same moment. You'd have your player with 1 billion DPS perhaps being shrunk down to 10,000, or supposed with 1 million DPS, 1 million instead of 1 billion. Instead of coming down to 10,000, they come down to maybe 1,000. So rather than being out by a factor of 1,000, they're now out by a factor of only 10. Those are throwaway numbers, but to give you an idea as to how that can look. My question still remains as to how that affects then the time to kill of the boss enemy, especially as if it's on a per player basis, what happens when one of the players in the squad, or perhaps all of the other players in the squad, simply aren't doing their bit? How many of you experienced a situation where you were over on the Plains of Eidolon doing Plague Star, and 1, 2, or 3 other players would just go swanning off to go shoot the Thumper and not deal a lot of damage to it? I'm sure at least some of you had that experience. I know I did. A couple times. Cat Centaur, thank you very much for the Prime once again. Hope you're doing well there. And thank you very much for bringing it up onto 8 months indeed. Cheers. So, if this change here were implemented just as is, if this change was the only change that happened, whereupon one person doing Omega damage did not affect another person's damage output against bosses, then 4 of you at the same time would each be able to hit the same caps, and so you'd be dealing 4 times the damage, or approximately 4 times the damage, compared to before. Theoretically. If that is not the case, then that means some other adjustment is made, whereupon one person shooting that boss, whilst the others are not contributing as much as they could, that one person will hit their damage cap, and that's all you get, 1 player's worth of damage. Despite them having more than enough damage to account for what their teammates have brought, they would now be actively held back by their teammates just not even trying. So, it's an interesting situation to be in. It depends on how that all shakes out together. Alex saying, theoretically, pubs with undergeared random should feel bad. I get where you're coming from on that. This isn't a case of necessarily undergeared, but rather underapplied. The devil's going to be in the details. And until we get our hands on it, much like a Valkyrie rework, we simply can't make real assessments. Simply can't. Standardizing damage attenuation. DA is just one method we use to balance player power against boss type enemies. Depending on whether you fight an Eidolon, Kuvelich, or an Archon, your damage output will be affected in different ways. Yeah. These differences are often the legacy of many hands to work to make a Warframe over the years. Plenty of stuff. There is so much to learn in Warframe, and that list only grows with every update. Part of maintaining a decade-long game is reducing the scope of what players need to know. Very much so. With that in mind, DE are replacing the existing DA on various boss-type enemies and standardizing it all to one system. Actual values for attenuation will be balanced around the particular enemy, so it's not like just one set of values applies everywhere, which is good. Enemies from Liches to Void Angels to Legacytes all use the same mechanics. And looks like they're going to be basing it on the Archon Hunt damage attenuation. Which does seem to be the more reasonable side, yeah. Let's go and say, I think you can do 4 times DPS, because the point is to make people want to do more DPS, not feel like they can't help, even if they get better stuff. Yeah. You want people to contribute. You want people to be involved. Absolutely. It's, again, a real tough way of shaking it all out. But let's see where this further goes. As mentioned earlier, we're increasing base health values to balance the time to kill for these foes. While larger health pools may increase difficulty, they also increase damage attenuation caps, since they now scale with max health. Okay, that's technically incorrect. That sentence, that point is technically incorrect. So by changing the mathematics on how they determine where the damage attenuation caps are, they are also free to just decide how high or low they set those modifiers. The presence of a larger health pool doesn't itself increase the damage attenuation cap compared to before. Whereas increasing a larger health pool does definitely increase the difficulty compared to before. This only applies in comparison to enemies within the same system. So, yeah. They say the cap is dependent on max health. It is dependent on max health. They said that. They're changing it to depend on max health, but just increasing the health does not itself say, compared to today, that it also then improves the damage attenuation to match. Those are two separate things. I'm going to get the paint back, because this is a hard point to convey. This is a hard point to convey. Let's go. There we go. Okay. So, let's say enemy hit points are... Yep. Say the enemy hit points are here. You need to reach this level. Okay? And we're just going to have this as a damage over time. So, damage actually dealt. Time. There we go. So, you might have an experience currently. We'll do current again in old red. You might have an experience currently like that. You apply your damage over time until you get to the kill. There it is. Actually, I'm going to bring these down, because otherwise I'm going to run out of space for this, I just realized. There we are. Yeah, so enemy health is currently there. That's the goal. And currently you deal your damage over time. You hit your kill there. Okay? Now, if they increase the... if they change the damage attenuation to be a percentage base rather than a flat number base, cool, alright, you end up with a different amount of damage per time that you can deal. They then increase the boss health. So let's give boss health, the new boss health is green. There's your new boss health. So where is your new damage line? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Fundamentally, you don't know that answer right now. From the information so given, you don't know the answer, because whilst they say that the damage attenuation is shifting from a flat value to a scaled on max health value, it's not guaranteed that your particular setup would end up hitting such a rate as to kill it faster. You could be anywhere along that. The sheer presence of a higher max health alongside a system which scales the damage attenuation with max health isn't enough information to tell you that it is going to be faster because of that max health. They're two separate things. Your particular approach to killing the boss could be nerfed as a result of the increased max health, independent of the equation now scaling with their max health. They're separate things. It might seem like an odd nitpick, but ultimately the logic is incorrect. Their intent might be correct there. They may actually make it where you kill things more quickly, but ultimately larger health pool increases difficulty. Fact. Takes more damage to kill. Damage attenuation caps scaling with max health is a separate thing entirely, because it currently doesn't. That's my point. Anyway, D's hope is that players will hit harder, their weapons will feel more satisfying, while also ensuring enemies have a reasonable time to kill. On both ends, avoiding one-shots and avoiding time-gated slogs. Which, yeah, cool. That in itself is such a difficult challenge in a game that has such a vast array of damage output. Because ultimately, a slog is going to happen if someone is under-geared. Imagine someone has a infinite energy revenant. They can't die. So the idea of them losing the mission because they failed the mechanics attacking them is removed. They're just going to live now. But they've brought an unmodded Mark 1 Bratton to shoot down ETA. They're not going to get anywhere. So at that point, we can reasonably say, yeah, it's supposed to be a slog. They've not brought enough gear. They should lose. And the game design on the DE side, the game balancing, is deciding, okay, well, where do they set the hit points in comparison to what amount of output would they say is enough? When is it okay for it to take 40 minutes to complete the mission, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes? And what is the minimum time they want that to go down to? And that's tough. That is tough. Cat Sentinel saying, if damage is a percentage of max health, wouldn't there be a minimum amount of time to kill? If damage was a percentage of max health, yes. However, that is the Hemocyte kind of attenuation. Actually, Hemocyte is damage per instance rather than damage per second, but point there. That's Hemocyte style. Whereas what they're saying is there is going to be a damage attenuation Archon style. Yeah. So the damage attenuation is going to be Archon style, and that attenuation, it isn't limiting your max hit directly to their health. It is instead an equation which is scaled with how much health they have. So if you're hitting super duper ultra max attenuation because you're doing negative damage cap damage every single hit 20 million times a second because you mirror lane, then it doesn't matter if you get to level 100 Archon or level 10,000 Archon somehow. You would have the same experience because you're just hitting so much of a cap that the game just has to hold you back and go, look, buddy, you're not allowed to kill it yet. But the idea that I'm getting from this is that they want, for someone who is not basically Chuck Norris Warframe edition, to have a different experience, going from medium level to high level to very high level encounters against damage attenuation. And that different experience is that you'd be encouraged to still upgrade your gear if there is a reason to bring more damage. You won't be hitting a flat percent HP timer because there'll be a curve to it. Whereas right now, what we have is basically a harsh timer that kicks in almost regardless of what you bring. If you bring something even halfway decent, that's it. You're on the timer. You're on the clock. It's not going anywhere else. You shoot the Dedicant all you damn well please. It's just not gonna die until it tells you it's ready to die. And that's the bit, more than anything, that really grates people. But again, how do you balance that? At what point does the game say, nope, that's too much damage, stop? You can kill it later, wait a few seconds, wait a minute. Where do you draw that line? Again, devil's in the details to find out what line do you draw. Since these changes are still in active development, require careful testing. My point exactly. They're not sharing stat changes in this dev blog. Understandable. Look for an extensive overview in the official patch notes. But they can confirm the new DA will be applied to all of these enemies. We are including enemies that already use DA, so players have a comprehensive list and understand the new attenuation scaling changes applied to them. Okay, so Acolytes, expected. Amalgams, fair enough. Archons, alright. Deimos Jugulus, Deimos Saxum and Saxum Rex, Demolishers, Eidolons, and that is a huge change actually, yeah. Eidolons having Archon style damage attenuation, because currently they have... Eidolons basically just have damage resistance. It is adaptive, but it's such a low threshold, if I recall correctly, that it might as well just be a damage resistance. That's curious. Because I'm fairly certain I remember looking into that, and it was at a point where people had figured out a particular enemy with a particular level in the simulacrum worked as a... what's the word? As an analogy? Analog, I guess, for the limbs on the Eidolon, because you can't bring an Eidolon into Simulacrum. People had found an enemy which had the matching stats for the limb, And so you could test your one shot against that. Because again, it wasn't damage attenuation so much as there was a very small window in which the game went, wow, you are so weak, we're actually not going to resist your damage. What the shit is that? But yeah. So, we'll see what D you're cooking with that. They say, we're taking care to ensure their time to kill is not disrupted. But like, one-shots exist and have existed for years on Eidolons, so... How does that shake out? Whoop. Number 23. The devil's in the details. Yeah. So, Empyrean units. Aurochs. Yeah, just a few Aurochs, Numons, Vambak, Zerkers. I'll be quite honest. You could put a gun to my head and demand I tell you what a Zerker looks like. I'd be dead. Every time. I have no idea what a Zerker is. Let me have a look at this. What is a Zerker? I don't do that much Corpus Railjack because, quite honestly, it just sucks. It's, oh, okay. Alright. This is a Zerker. It is a Corpus with a wide helmet, because heat sinks, I guess? Drone bay in the ears? With a hammer and shield Corpus style. Alright. Okay. I could not have told you that existed. Straight up. Nope. Moving on to the others. Errant Spectres, Gruzling, Infested Oni, Jackal, Juggernaut, all variants, Kuvalich Thralls, Legacite, Lephantis, and Hemocite, Mocking Whispers, Necromite. Necromite? I am thinking of the right thing. Yeah? Yeah, the little repair bots. The little repair bots have... They qualify? I thought you just found them and just kind of go, pew. I thought you could just kind of accidentally fart near them and they'd die. They're not a boss. Yeah, that's gotta mean Nekomex. That's gotta mean Nekomex. It's gotta. Because I'm not seeing Nekomex on this list. Oh wait, no, there they are. Rogue Nekomex. My bad. So... Sure, moving on. Araxia and I, we've approached you during Deadlock Protocol Quest, Rogue Nekomex, Skaldron Dedicants, Sister Parvos Hounds, Skittergirl, Technocyte Coders, Tekrot Babao, the Fragmented in all of its variants, the Goddamn Treasurer, Tusked Thumpers, Void Angels, and Zello Prelate. Yeah. That's a lot of enemies with variant damage attenuation across the place. That is a lot of them. Again, we'll have to see how they tweak the numbers and how that all comes together. Look for final stat changes in the patch notes. With such a sweeping change, the real way to understand its impact will be through gameplay. Exactly, yeah. For the 24th time, the devil is in the details. Melee asking, Void Angels have damage attenuation, they want it. So they have something at the moment, Mirrorlabe, but it's going to be changing to using exactly the same approach that Archons use. Where the numbers will be, remains to be seen. But yeah. Necromechs are included demolishers. So Necromechs are included just as themselves, but also then demolishers, including Necromech demolishers, are also a thing, yeah. Because Necromech demolishers definitely have different stats to normal Necromechs. I find in the current game, Necromech demolishers seem easier to kill. I might be incorrect on that, but they've always seemed easier to kill to me. Accessibility. Oh yeah, no, I didn't finish this bit. Once this is in our hands, please let us know how it feels so we continue to iterate. Yeah, makes sense. So, accessibility, screen shake, and recoil changes. I'm already seeing what's happening with the reticle there, and... oh, the number of people who argued with me and told me this couldn't be done. The number of people who argued and said that couldn't be done. Alright, let's read this properly. Earlier in 2025, the unintentionally released change where screen shake toggle would also remove the screen movement tied to weapon recoil, which a lot of us actually enjoyed. For much of Warframe's history, this toggle would remove screen shake, but retain screen movement tied to weapon recoil. So depending on the weapon you were firing, the screen would jiggle to mirror the recoil. When they reverted the change, they got a lot of feedback that, you know, people enjoyed having that change. What weapon recoil was restored to its original state, and conversations occurred after made them look more closely at the accessibility for it. So this is what they're adding in. Remove screen movement when firing guns, adding a diamond to the reticle, which will be representative of the gun recoil pattern. The original reticle dot will remain stationary. The new diamond will move to indicate recoil patterns when the gun is being fired. Very, very simply. Gun go recoil, face not go recoil. Gun, face, gun, face. Two different fucking things. And as so simply demonstrated in this little GIF right here, yes, I pronounce it GIF, you can demonstrate the recoil of the gun without shaking the camera to oblivion. It is as simple as I made it out to be so many times when this conversation has come up. It really is that simple. Just like our camera doesn't do a loop-de-loo when you do a bullet jump. If you turn on this setting, or rather turn off shaky cam with gun, the gun can still shake. The recoil can still happen to make it where you need to aim more precisely. But it doesn't need to throw your world out of balance beyond your control. And for those of you who enjoy recoil, you just don't need to turn on the accessibility setting. This is an accessibility setting under screen shake toggle turned off. So if you keep screen shake on, then you'll continue to go, whoa, every time you use a weapon that is absolutely bonkers. You can do that. So if heavy recoil can look forward and shoot up, pretty much, yeah, you'd fire the gun goes BAM! And oh yeah, it's pointing up. And if you don't let it reset before you fire again, BAM! You're firing up there, aren't you? Where the gun is pointing, not where your head is pointing, where the gun is pointing. The gun is not linked into your neck. I go there. Vindication. Anyway, we've got some hidden contents. Image description. Alright, fair enough. Wukong and all Ballas doing things. You know what? The entire time, I should realize that was Wukong with the skin. I saw the shoulders, and my brain just said, yeah, that's just one of those Saren skins you're not aware of. I should have seen that. Alright then, weapon screen shake changes. Tenno who keep their screen shake enabled in accessibility options may notice slight adjustments to the intensity of screen shake on some weapons. With review of screen shake, we felt that the following weapons had too much of a recoil effect, and so it is going to be reduced. Titania's Dexfixia, Phantasma, Mark 1 Bratton, Twin Krakators, Piranha, Trumna, Gorgon, Leighton, Dual Sestra, Buzzlock, and Bubonico. The Leighton does have a surprising amount of recoil on it, actually, yeah. So these are going to have their recoils just flat reduced in general. And that's good. Sure know a lot about guns for an Englishman, got a license for that. Ah, well you see, you can actually license guns in this country. believe it or not, you can also have formal, controlled, regulated training. Yeah, of which I've had absolutely zero. Alright then, motion controls on a PlayStation. So this is something PlayStation peeps. Speaking of accessibility, we're thrilled to introduce motion control capabilities for PlayStation players. Players can enable this in the new toggle motion controls when the update drops. Splendid. Alright, those of you who use that, there you go. There you are. General quality of life changes beyond this. Arcanes and art guns, which they showed on stream, you'll be able to use the primary and secondary arcanes in 2 separated slots on the art guns, and that is very, very nice to have. Nullifier bubble ability interaction change. So for Frost, Limbo, Mag, Oberon, and Arexia, there are now some changes to account for this, because nullifiers can be a little bit insane. So, Snow Globe. Nullifier bubbles will drain Snow Globe's life 20% per second, and cannot gain strength when a nullifier bubble is touching it. Cool. Limbo Cataclysm shrinks 4 times faster when touching a nullifier bubble, instead of just going pop straight away. Effectively making the bubble shrink away from the nullifier. Assuming it's on the edge, not in the middle. Mag's Magnetize. Duration expires 4 times faster, but ends instantly if a nullifier bubble touches the center. Yeah, that makes sense. Oberon's Hallowed Ground no longer removes the Hallowed Ground, or rather the nullifier no longer removes the Hallowed Ground, but instead it'll protect the enemies from the effects, and similarly for Webbed Embrace, doesn't delete it, just protects the ones in it. That makes sense. It's a shield, not a complete wipe. Sounds good. Cosmetic quality of life, signals on operators and drifters, there you go, you gotta put something on your head, enjoy, have fun. Equip both sides toggle if you prefer symmetry, adding a customized left-right separately toggle to attachment screen. So shoulder and leg armor will apply the same armor piece on both sides. Oh, I misunderstood this from the stream. I misunderstood this one. So it looked to me on the stream that they were saying, hey, you see how you have the shoulder plates that exist on one shoulder? Now you can have them on both shoulders. But it sounds like what they're actually doing is, hey, you have shoulder plate left and shoulder plate right. Why equip both one by one when you can just equip them both at the same time? Because there are a number of lopsided attachments out there where one piece is available but the other isn't, so it just doesn't exist. I thought that was addressing that in that way. Perhaps not. Oh well. Favourite palette increase. Some people have been clamoring for it. Now you can have it. Reduce Tekrot spawn in Skuldra missions. Thank fucking God. The idea of loading into a Skuldra mission and killing 80% Tekrot instead was just ridiculous so many times over. This notably is calling out exterminate missions. Exterminate. Many a survival mission also has the same situation of, hey, wouldn't you like to just keep sitting here and killing these enemies? Well, that, the life support towers you might want to utilize, be around, or at least take thingies off. Yeah, they're down underground this time. Go deal. It's all a thing. I get the whole reason for having Tekrot and Skuldra in the same mission. It's still painful when you're trying to shoot Skuldra. It is painful when it becomes oops all Tekrot, yeah. They mentioned it in Hell's... Oh, I didn't even look far enough in. Let's see here. Yeah, we've reduced the number of underground tiles that spawn in Skuldra Exterminate and Hell Scrub missions. Fair point, fair point. Sure, why not? Wording. Thanks, Mr. Fs. How dare I presume that this would cover the topic? Grenadier Asteroid and Relay Relight. Honestly, looking swanky. I do wonder if the contrast is perhaps a little low, the bloom a little high, but you have the ability to set settings to help deal with that. There are definitely settings that can help manage on that, whereas that just looks brilliant. That is nice. I'm surprised they've gone with such a clean floor still over here. Considering how drapey and murky and grim other sections are, but yeah, it's their own design. Steve said he likes the blooms. It might be exaggerated in the shot. Maybe. Maybe, Regulus. Maybe. And, yep, that is notes on the lighting to go alongside the quality of life and details all overall there. So, broadly, damage attenuation, it sounds like it's for the better. It really does. Where they shake out those numbers is still going to need to be investigated. Where it all comes together, we'll just have to find out. At the very least, if you are the kind of player who is just about at threshold at the moment, so you're not triggering much damage attenuation, you're just about getting it to kick in, things are almost certainly going to get harder for you. If they're increasing the max health and reducing the amount of damage attenuation that's kicking in, if you're not really triggering the damage attenuation at the moment, logically it's just going to have to get harder for you. But for everyone else, everyone who actually mods to the 9s should see an improvement on attenuated enemies in particular. If, however, you've rolled 3 absolute shite weapons for an EDA or ETA, the ones where you kind of go in, you start hitting things, and you look at the health bar of a lumbering fragment, just go, beep. Yeah, sorry, you're still screwed. That's when you call in your friends and ask for a carry that week. It'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. This is just gorgeous. This is gorgeous. And it's so simple. It's so simple, it's so readable, it's so obvious. Is there anyone who is looking at that reticle and doesn't immediately understand what is going on? Is there anyone who could look at that reticle and not zero straight in on what's going on with that? I don't believe it. Yeah, lovely change. Lovely, lovely. Right. And the rest is all QL on that side of things. Now, there was also the details about Oberon. Oberon. Oberon is also receiving a buff to his armor. We neglect to include in the original version of the Dev Workshop. Okay, fair enough. Good to know. Some saying, Pablo posted that Noko's passive is that he can use the mushrooms to revive. Oh. Nifty. Alright, so Oberon, our quiet paladin, has been patiently waiting in the wings, all a bit patiently. It's time to actually have stuff sorted. Also, free Oberon and Former. Log in from October 15th to October 21st. You get a free Oberon. And as with all reworks, you'll also get a built Former in an inbox message to help you update your Oberon builds. So that's nice. That is nice. Oberon is getting an armor buff. It is, yeah, basically double. In the ballpark of double, so that's nice to see. Passive. The original passive was just... And even that was after, if I recall correctly, Reb calling out the incredulity of the previous idea for that reworks passive, which was even worse. But no, now it's picking up a health orb, or a universal orb, which just counts as health and energy orb at the same time, generates a, quote, righteous negation charge for Oberon and allies of Infinity Radius. You have individual caps up to 3 charges per frame. I wonder if it'll just be frame, or if it'll apply to companions. I imagine it'll probably just be per frame, but we'll see. And the effect is that if you have a negation charge, you're invulnerable to incoming damage. When the damage is blocked, 1 charge is expended, and you'll remain invulnerable and have a 0.25 second cooldown, so effectively a quarter second damage gate before the next charge can be consumed. Interesting, yeah. So with 4 health orbs per second, you are immortal. You're not going to get 4 health orbs per second, but if you could get 4 health orbs per second, you're immortal. Pretty nifty. Could you get 4 health orbs per second? Now that I mention it. In survival missions, I do usually point to Steel Path Survival. 100 kills per minute is like your minimum threshold to not have to struggle with life support, and even then it can be a bit of a dicey one. If you can get up to 150 kills per minute, that's a pretty damn high level. Oberon does have health orb generation, and then you put a Necros into the squad, because a Necros can produce health orbs from dead enemies. So you put the two together, you now have health orbs and health orbs. Four health orbs per second is 240 health orbs per minute. If you're getting 150 kills per minute, that maybe there'll be something in there. Throw a Citrine in the mix too, why not? Could do, yep. Citrine and a Varuna could also work on that. This isn't helping in a boss fight? True, yeah. Also, Proteus Resupply is not going to be the one for that. Proteus Resupply will give you a single tap of it every now and then. Which, nice to have, but it's on a frame that can already produce health orbs a little bit more readily than that. Just a little bit. You do still have to collect the health orbs? Well, yeah, fine. How many times are you killing enemies 200 meters that way? You know, you probably got something to do. Garrus mirrors with your energy balls on kill. You'll need to convert them over to universal orbs if you're doing that mirror labe. Because it has to be health orbs or universal orbs for this to trigger, not energy. But yeah, see how that comes together. Universal Fallout's all you need? Maybe. Maybe. Anyway, that theory crafting aside of just having health orb based Mesmer skin, health tanking, but actually no. It's an odd one. No, it's just description. So anyway, Smite changes. A Smite target is completely stripped of Overguard and armor. I wonder if that's tied to strength or if that's just a flat... No, it always happens. Loses 35% of its current health, specifically health and shields, in an instant, caps at 75% from strength. Yeah. Smite does not bypass shields, so those affect the final damage to health. Right, okay, yeah. So 35% of its current hit points is damage it receives, is what I'm reading there. Target is also staggered, open to melee finishers. Enemies that are nearby receive half the damage dealt and are also staggered. The seeking projectiles are gone, fair enough. Now, here's the thing, I have a ancient cheesy setup, which is to use Smite here on Limbo against Kayla Detain. Because it's based on the health of the target, by casting it on Kayla Detain, the orbs would pop out, they'd swing around, there's nothing else to hit, they come back in, they slam into Kayla, and Kayla just gets slapped. All the while you're in the Rift as as Limbo, just kind of going, you can't hit me. It's silly. It's silly. With those projectiles gone, a lot of things are going to be impacted in similar ways. However, the damage still being capped at 75%. Anything that's not attenuated, because you'll be removing all of the Overguard and armor, and then dealing damage based on all of their remaining hit points, if it ain't attenuated, you just kind of go snap, snap, they're done, right? And further to that, damage capped at 75%. If you have a single viral proc on them, or if they've got armor and health and shields, one viral proc, one magnetic proc, that should be 150% damage, right? That should just be kill shot. See how that shakes out. Would rebuff and the ability to Roared still work? Could well do that as well, yeah. It depends on where the cap is in the equation. my understanding is usually these kinds of things, the cap is just on the base damage, and then you can buff it beyond there. So I would imagine, whether you're using raw or if you're putting some kind of viral status spreader, priming your enemies good old ways, some of those should give you the opportunity to just point at something and go, dead. Now, 75% cap with a 35% base, you're going to need a little over 200% strength to get there. You need actually 215% strength to get there. So that's not going to be cheap, but I mean, a pointer enemy, it dies, everything near it probably also dies if they're weaker than the enemy. That's still a big damn deal. They give him powered kill? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Now I wonder, they say that the projectiles are gone. Do they keep the imagery, and so projectiles just appear to shoot out to all the enemies that get affected? Or do they just remove the projectiles entirely from the visual of it? One has to wonder. Alright, if Smite is cast into a tight group of enemies, Xmas units will be prioritized as the target. That is a nice one, actually, yeah. So this is similar to how on Araxia, if you've got a tight group of enemies and only one of them is at threshold, Araxia will always target that enemy. So yeah, that's good. And Smite Fusion Augment, unchanged, because of course there's no changes needed to it, so that's fine. Right. Hallowed Ground is now a full circle. We saw that, it's brilliant. But because of that, it means that ability range, instead of increasing the arc that you cast this weird patch of grass in, you could just make a bigger field. That's beautiful. Increases the height of Hallowed Ground to affect by flying enemies and double jumping allies alike. That is nice. Due to the increased size of Hallowed Ground, reduce the maximum number of grounds from 4 to 3. Honestly, that just seems valid. That seems completely valid. Nullifiers, we've seen earlier. No longer going to completely just destroy the ground by tapping it. That is good. Radiation damage from the ground gives guaranteed status effect rather than 15% at max rank. And didn't they also say that the hits are increasing from once per second to 2 per second? So effectively, we're going from 0.15 radiation per second to 2 radiation per second. That's a big increase. Ugh. That is a, what, 13-fold increase? A 13-fold increase in the radiation output is kind of a little bit bonkers. If only radiation was a status type that we cared about. But, I mean, in a big area like that, it's still going to act as a soft control on enemies. They'll be fighting each other and doing slightly more than tickle damage to each other. But yeah, that is, that's one way to give you a lot more radiation. That side of it, the ability is not just there for the sake of it, which is nice. Regular saying, one potential problem with this is ranged enemies will start attacking enemies on the edge of the hallowed ground and not enter it themselves. That is always a risk when it comes to radiation procs, yeah. The moment that happens, enemies are now distracted at a distance, and whilst those other enemies are not themselves procced, at least Oberon doesn't rely too much on those enemies all being rad procced. Does radiation go through Overguard? I think radiation does proc on them, but it doesn't affect their AI. I think. We'll test that when it comes around, in case I make changes. Renewal healing is doubled while standing on the ground, which is just nice. The armor buff is no longer tied to it. That'll just come from elsewhere. And armor strip is also no longer tied to it. That'll just come from the core ability itself, which is nice. And status effect cleansing and immunity is unchanged, which is good. Yeah. Augment, increase hallowed ground duration from plus 100 to plus 200. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, regulars. Yeah. Cool. As I'm saying, it's a Radkin soft CC Xmas, but only if there's mobs to shoot. So it shouldn't make the Eximus believe that everything is its enemy. And I don't know if it would make it believe that mobs that are affected by radiation are its enemy. Because if it's anything like Kuva Liches, I think the radiation effects on Liches is they don't shoot enemies, but enemies which are Radproc and shoot them will deal more damage to them because of the Radprocs on the Lich. Huzato saying enemies with Rad shooting Eximus will force the Eximus to shoot back, but only as long as the Eximus are attacked first. Alright. Yeah, it is a short burst of messing with them. Alright. Cat Center is saying Overguard prevents radiation according to the wiki. Is that prevents radiation to players or prevents radiation to enemies? Because players got total status immunity, but enemies do not. It's a very big grey area, isn't it? It's a very big grey area. Wiki's sure that can't be done on enemies. Okay, you know what? Let's just have a quick look in game. I can do it. Oh, I have an inbox message. Why do I have an inbox message? Ah, a gift has gone through to someone. Wonderful. Oh, let's turn on the audio again, because I had in the background didn't want weird buzzy audio from drones.
You are a true hunter.
There we are. Also, did I rebalance the audio? Yes, I did. Good, good, good. Radiation's a damn weird status. It's more... It's very understandable, except for the bit that there are exceptions, and those exceptions aren't clear. Radiation itself is pretty simplish. Anyway, Thumin. Good old testing Thumin. And let's grab just a little bit of radiation by putting some Hellfire on here. And these as well. There we go. That'll do. Don't need to put in effort. Right then. Eximus. Give him a few more levels, because at level 2 they would just die. Well, that answers that one. That is a radiation proc enemy with Overguard. Anyway. Yeah. Now, if I switch over to Loki. And let's unpause the AI. Oop. Rad proc. And we'll note that they are not falling for it. Oh shit. Oop. Yeah, that is good. So now, let's also get some butchers. We got some butchers over here as well to mess with, so let's just go. You are now rad procced. Will the butchers go and attack you? Ooh. Ooh, okay. He's rad proc, but the butchers don't seem to give a damn. Interesting. Yeah, the butchers are completely ignoring that. So, let's wait for that rad proc to clear on him. There we go. You are the new target. That one is now rad procced. And now that I'm invisible, they should... Yep, so he's shooting at it. Alright, rad proc has run out on that one. Let's just put some more out there. Oh shit. Yeah, more are getting involved in the fight now. So this Xmas was never... Ow! That Xmas at the back was never attacked by the Butcher. Never attacked by it. But took the opportunity to shoot at the Butcher that was rad procced. So, to clarify, rad procking an Xmas unit, or any overguarded unit, does not seem to affect the AI of that unit or the others around it. Rad procking a non-overguarded unit will make it into a foe to those enemies, and all enemies will react accordingly. And then boss-type units like Kuvaliches, they are considered to be overguarded for the purposes of how radiation affects their AI. Yeah. Will they go for the player unless they're being directly targeted by an enemy? Good question. Let's grab a Labo. And we're going to want to have some of the Eximus in this as well. There we are. Alright. So, that Butcher can't affect... That Butcher can't affect that many enemies at once. Like, if I rad proc that... Nah, look at this over here. Look at this. Look at the cluster of stuff over there. That Xmas is focusing on that Butcher. You know that Butcher never hit him. That Butcher was busy. Shit, I'm getting fucking slapped here. Yeah, I'm seeing them switch around their attacks. Not consistent, but they are doing it. So now let's paint the entire group of them. And see what the hell happens here. Yeah, it seems to be more of a proximity thing. Those Xmas are definitely focus firing me though. It's a weird one. Yeah. Look at that. It does seem to be proximity based. They get close to those enemies, they want to have a piece of me. It's not clear cut. The AI does have to make decisions, and that affects how it all comes together. But it does seem to be more focused on proximity than anything else. If you call radiation attacks increase the threat level of the victim. Okay, so if I shove that down the line and do a dasherino through it, this guy is maximum hate right there. He might also just perish. Actually, if I stand in this will heal you, right? Damn. Damn, I can't really do much more of this without murdering you. Notably, the Jade Xmas does not beam this guy. But can he run into the beam? He can run into the beam. He can run into it. Okay. Oh, gonna need to recharge that. But yeah, the targeting is definitely a little bit wonk. It's hard to see how to ideally control them there. And if we get some non-Xmas in this, we just go a whole bunch of Elite Lancers. Like those ones, those ones, those ones, and those ones. Why not? And then I just do that down the middle of them. It just becomes an absolute clusterfuck over there. But it can turn on me despite all the procs all around. Yeah, that is all over the place. Yeah. Go figure. Honestly, go figure. Right. So we were still looking at these bits and pieces over here. Renewal. Removing the increased energy cost per target, honestly, just great. Just great. The fact that it took that long, even for such a small change, is wild, but yeah. Now we have it, that's good. Oh, in the next update we will. Renewal range is now affinity range, which, okay, fair enough. Don't need to mod range if you want to do the healing. It's a choice. Boots with Oberon instead of applying as a static zone as well. Okay. Players affected by renewal are given the armor buff just straight up, and it is doubled in strength for allies. Sure, why not? Renewal no longer stacks with other renewals, only the strongest one will take effect. I didn't know that they stacked. Damn, alright. And renewal's VFX will be now clearer, which is cool. And Phoenix Renewal has had the cooldown come down from 90 seconds to 60. Cheeky little extra buff thrown in there. Reckoning! Now it's only line of sight, but bonus damage when enemies are affected by radiation per stack. Damage is doubled if they're on 10 stacks then. Oberon receives 10 armor per enemy hit, with a cap of 1000. Rad procs will give extra armor. Cool. Surviving enemies will have half their armor removed just straight up. It was tied to Hallowed Ground, now it's not, and I think again that should be strength tied as well, so 200% strength will strip that, and you want 215% anyway if you want to hit the max damage on the smite. Enemies hit by a Reckoning have a 50% chance of dropping health orb on death, but it no longer blinds them. Okay. Which, yeah, makes sense. As they say here, if you're spreading radiation, you're wanting to distract enemies, so if you're blinding them, you're just kind of screwing up the status effect. So yeah, I get it. I get it. Interesting, though, is that what they could do with this, if they wanted to take it just one little step further, is they could make it where Reckoning reduces ally threat level temporarily. So it would make it where enemies would go, yeah, there's a Warframe there, but I need to kill this guy. Which is kind of a type of blindness. It is selective blindness. I can't see the Warframe. I'm busy. So if they wanted to take it one step further, they could do that. But yeah, overall, looking good. Bonus armor granted from Hallowed Reckoning patches now as a grace period. Remains for 3 seconds after leaving radius. Fair do. And reduce the VFX on the patches that spawn on the ground. Fair enough. Fair enough. Overall, looking like a more powerful kit. Smite indeed does seem like a proper actual smite. So that does look good. It doesn't at the moment seem to have any limit on the Overguard and armor removal though, like any strength basis to it. I do wonder if that is going to be tied to strength, because if it's not tied to strength, that would be insane as a subsume. I mean, granted, it's only one target at a time, so maybe it's not insane. No, if it's one target at a time, it's not that insane. Nah, one at a time is not insane. But it does depend on the bosses you can cast it on. Because, like, if you can have a low strength, that boss now has no armor. I mean, that's not bad as a subsume, is it? That would not be bad. For the 25th time, the devil is in the details. Does this frame seem to be someone that needs a lot of strength? I would say this is one that could benefit from the strength, because you want your healing to matter, you want your armor buff to matter, you want the damage to stick, you want the armor removal to stick, you'd like to get plenty of damage out of Smite to max out that 75% if possible. So this does seem like a frame that could certainly do with 200% to 215% strength. More than that may not be necessary though. Only 250 isn't a hard hit. 215 even, but yeah. Beyond 215, you'll be at the smite cap. You'll already be at full armor strip on Reckoning. If it's tied to strength on these orbs as well, you'll already be at 100% orb drop as well. So it's looking like in terms of a breakpoint, 215% strength is a breakpoint. There's a 200% breakpoint and a 215. You might as well go the 215, although it may not even be necessary because 200% will still get you to 70% of hit point damage, which with an appropriate buff, Roar at 30% with 200% strength would be 60%. 70 times 1.6 is 1.12, I want to say. So that's 112%. That's lethal. So yeah, actually, yeah. A single blind rage with Roar subsumed, if you wanted to do that, would make Smite lethal if that's how it works with the cap. And that's an if. That's how it works with the cap. Regular saying, does he really need Equilibrium if he has so many effects that can drop Universal Orbs? Where's he dropping the Universals from? Hold on, Control F, No, where's the Universal Orbs coming from? Those are Health Orbs he's doing. Oh, just the Fallout Arcane, yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting that one exists. Arcane Universal Fallout, fair enough. Yeah, if you use that, then you'll have energy for days. But I mean, the question then isn't, does he really need Equilibrium if he has so many effects that can drop Universal Orbs? The question is actually, does he really need Equilibrium if he's using the Arcane that does Equilibrium but better? And the answer is no, of course not. Of course not. If you have your energy source absolutely covered, you don't need an energy source. But yeah. You don't know Fallout? Arcane Fallout, it's one that grants orbs from radiation procced enemies, and I think it's based on the number of procs on them, although I'd have to double check. In particular, Corvex mains look at that Arcane and basically just collapse in sheer ecstasy at the idea of what they can do with it. Pretty much every other Warframe goes, ooh. But Corvex in particular just explodes with joy. Never seen Concrete so happy. Overall, looking good. It looks like this would put Oberon in a spot where it's not trying to overshadow other frames, not trying to completely reinvent the wheel. It's still very clearly Oberon, but all of the abilities seem to actually have their place. Whether the healing is enough or not for you will depend on how much you build into your tank. Oberon has also gained more of a way to tank. Whether or not Reckoning will matter to you is if you want to have a line of sight armor strip on a 100 energy ability that also generates orbs that can effectively refund that ability. Whether you want to use Hallowed Ground is whether or not you want to have, status immunity, which, let's face it, is a pretty big deal. Also applying the radiation over a larger area with resistance to nullifiers. I mean, it's been heavily improved on that side. And whether or not you want to keep Smite is whether or not you want to basically just power word kill some enemies. Of particular note, the damage is capped, the damage is based on current stats. Current stats. So if you damage an enemy down to half health, this 75% cap is 75% of that half health. So do be mindful of that detail. But that's all on that one. Cheers, Mirrorlade. Smite Infusion remaining unchanged, still absurdly powerful. Oh yeah. Smite Infusion is still Smite Infusion. But now it can be Smite Infusion plus single target, overguard and armor, be gone. Oh look, here is an enemy which is unaffected by crowd control. Denied. It is just the Eximus denier in that regard. So you subsume Reckoning? It depends on your build. It really depends on your build, Kals. If you subsume Reckoning, then you're getting rid of your AoE, armor gain, armor strip, and orb generation. Which is a big damn deal. That's a lot to take away in one thing. If you get rid of your renewal, there goes both armor and healing. If you get rid of hallowed ground, there goes your soft crowd control, there goes your status immunity. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that one, actually. It's soft crowd control and status immunity. So, depends on what you need that for. And then on Smite, you remove that. There goes your deletion of Overguard. Which, if you're doing enough damage, then you're fine. It's also a micro nuke if you use it appropriately. And Smite Infusion is a thing. I know, Liv. No obvious instant removal on a frame. Isn't it wild? It's almost as if it's a rework. But yeah. Of all of them, Hallowed Ground is perhaps the weaker spot. It's a soft CC, not hard CC. It's an application of radiation, which isn't exactly the most impressive status effect. And status immunity is nice, but it's not everything. There's a soft CC that semi kind of works on Xmas. Yeah, soft CCs work on Xmas. Hard CCs don't, but soft ones do. Like Cold, for example. Cold on a few procs is a soft CC. Only when it hits 10 procs does it hard CC. And Xmas block you getting past 4 procs. So Xmas are vulnerable to a number of soft CCs. Again, it's not exclusively either or, but yeah. Hallowed Ground is good for Reckoning builds. Good for Reckoning builds. Yeah, because you'll have the radiation on them, so Reckoning damage. But based on that, it's flat 65 to 750 per stack of radiation. 65 to 750. What do you mean flat this to that? Oh, increase the bonus from this to that. Sorry, yeah. So damage doubled if target has max rad stacks. If that's per stack, 750 per stack, then that's what? 15k damage base? On Star Shard that matters. Not on Steel Path. So Hallowed Ground for a damage reckoning build will not matter by the time you really helmet thing, let's be honest. So yeah, if you want the soft CC and status immunity, obviously you keep that, but it feels like these are, understandably as first and second abilities, the weaker sides of the kit. Unless you augment this one, then it's strong. What are they doing to Reckoning Augment? Hallowed Reckoning, bonus armor granted from it now has a grace period when you leave the patch for 3 seconds. Sorry, grace period of 3 seconds from when leaving the patch. And the visual effects are being reduced. That's the entire changes on that one. Alright, that is these details looked at quite extensively. I'm now going to link these again in the chat here. So there is the Oberon link, and here are the attenuation and quality of life details link. So if you do want to have a further look over those are the links to take you nice and easily over to that. We have been live now for plenty long enough, had the dev stream and a digest thereafter. So that is where we're going to wrap up today. Thank you everyone for joining in. And there's still the question as to stream tomorrow. I'll be quite honest with you. I have kind of got a little much on my plate at the moment. So with this stream, this is going to replace the Variety Friday one. I'm not going to say I might change my mind because the likelihood of that is low. I've got a fair chunk of stuff I need to get through at the moment. It's a bit time sensitive. So I will instead be live again on Sunday with some more Warframe. You can look forward to that. But in the meantime, have yourselves a good rest of your week, a good weekend. I'll see you at the end of it. Bye-bye.